We're live.
Live. Hello and welcome. Oh gosh, that's quite scary. Hello and welcome to the first Big Finish Fans 1 hangout. This hangout is basically a starter pack to Big Finish, so we'll be asking these lovely people questions about Big Finish, like where to start, favourite recommendations, and all that jazzy stuff. So we plan to do these hangouts one every 3 months because it will be quite difficult to do these hangouts weekly, and we might do mini reviews in the future. So let's do the hello. So if we start off with Luke.
Hello, it's Mr. Flipster here.
Hello. That's good, creepy. Hello, I'm Tom from TJ Productions.
And then
Anyone next?
anyone next?
I guess I'll go next. Hi,
Say your hellos.
I'm Taylor from Taylor Presents.
And I am
Even though
TARDIS
it's
Guy 123.
There
Brilliant.
we are. All done. Yeah, I'm PoetSmith11, as you probably know because you're watching it on the channel. So the first question to the panel is, what was your first Big Finish? And we'll start off with Kai.
My first big finish would have to be Master, releasing the 49 in the main range.
And then if we go for Luke.
First Big Finish audio, Luke. Hello?
Right, we go
Hello?
for TJ.
Alright.
Alright, we go back again.
Did you hear the question, Luke?
Should I just go?
No. What was the question? Ask the question again, Ben.
Oh, the first Big Finish you got.
Well, the first big finish I kind of got was King of Sontar, although the first big finish I listened to was the Mutant phase, because I listened to that from Big Finish's free SoundCloud one.
Ugh.
And then TJ, do you want to go next?
Yes, my first one, ironically, was a Fifth Doctor one. It was The Eye of the Scorpion. And actually, it was actually pretty good. It's always a gem in my book. So yeah, my first one was The Eye of the Scorpion to start my Big Finish journey.
And then Taylor.
Mine was the Genocide Machine, which is part 1. Well, I only just found out it was part 1 of the, what's it called? Dalek Empire.
Yeah.
Mine's a misprint. But yeah, it's potentially one of my favourite audios so far, so yeah.
My first one was an audio called Cuddlesome, free with Doctor Who magazine, but my first proper Big Finish was Blood Tide. So the next question is where to start, so sort of recommendation sort of line. So if we start off with Taylor.
Oh.
From what I've listened to so far, if I had to recommend someone who never has listened to any audios, I'd probably start with Blood of the Daleks, because it sort of has a Doctor which we haven't obviously seen much on TV. It's got a completely new companion to sort of see, and of course it's got the Daleks, so it's a good story, quite action packed, and it's obviously known to be one of the better stories, so I guess it would be quite a good start for anybody, really.
Okay, so TJ.
Where to start with Big Finish? I would definitely go with The Light of the End, because The Light of the End, you get a taste of all the Doctors in one audio, and they all do play absolutely fantastic roles. The Fourth Doctor, the Fifth, Sixth, Seventh, and the Eighth. So yeah, if you have not got a single Doctor Who audio, go for The Light of the End. But if you listen to The Light of the End and you say you're thinking about going for the Fourth Doctor, go for the Fourth Doctor range. Thinking about going for the Eighth Doctor, go for the Eighth Doctor range. And if you just want to go, start with the monthly range, absolutely. So yeah, first one is definitely Light at the End.
Okay, so then we go on to Luke.
I would probably say Blood of the Daleks, just like Taylor did, because, as he said, new companion, new Doctor, well, not new Doctor, but fairly new Doctor, as we haven't really had that much of him. So, yeah, that'd probably be what I would say.
And now on to Casterbarus.
Well, I'd agree with all of them, but I have to say it was more in Signs of Time, because it was at the beginning, the first one.
Yeah, that's quite a good one. Mine, I'm gonna have to say the same as TJ, light at the end, because as he said, you get a taste for each Doctor, and obviously you expand on that if you like that certain Doctor, or you don't like that Doctor, then you give that Doctor a miss. Right, so the next question. This may be a bit of a tricky one. Best audio for each Doctor. Who wants to go first?
What? Who's starting? I couldn't hear that.
Do you want to start, TJ?
Right, let me think about this. So we're starting with the first Doctor now.
Yeah, or if you haven't got any of those, just skip them and just.
I have got a couple of first Doctor audios. I would probably say the Bounty of Sirius, which is. Well, what's going on?
Is it froze?
Sorry, yes, the Bounty of Sirius would be my first one because it's such a base under siege sort of story. It reminds me of the Troughton era a little bit with that under siege element. I have reviewed it on my channel, and yeah, there'll be more there. But yeah, it's an absolute fantastic first Doctor story.
So, do you want to carry on doing all the Doctors?
Oh, all of them. I thought we were
we'll-
taking turns.
Yeah.
Alright. Second
Yeah,
Doctor.
we'll just.
I would probably say. God, this is going to be a tricky one. The Jigsaw War, which is a companion chronicle. The reason that one, again, it reminds me of The Cube a little bit, that TV movie where they're stuck and they're doing all sort of puzzles in that one. Third Doctor, I can't really comment on, sorry. Can't comment on them. Fourth Doctor, Destroy the Infinite, because the Eminence are absolutely fantastic monster. So far it's my favourite Fourth Doctor adventure alongside the Devil's Armada from the Philip Hinchcliffe box set. Fifth Doctor, I would say it would be The Kingmaker, which is a monthly range audio, or the Fifth Doctor box set, which is the iterations of I. Sixth Doctor, that's going to be a tricky one. It's either going to be Project Twilight, The Curse of Davros, or Masters of Earth. Seventh Doctor, it would be Revenge of the Swarm. Eighth Doctor, well, that's a no-brainer, Dark Eyes. And yeah, that's all of them. I'm done.
Okay, that's a cool selection. Should we go, Taylor?
Okay, I'm gonna have to skip the first four
That's fine.
because I haven't listened to any of them. I've ordered a couple from the Fourth Doctor, but they haven't come yet. Oh, be right back. Wait, skip on to
Alright.
someone else real quick. I've got to do
Someone
something.
else have to do it.
Okay, so
Ah.
Luke, do you want to go next?
Yeah, okay. I guess I would go. I haven't listened to the first three, but Fourth Doctor, I would agree with TJ and say Destroy the Infinite. Fifth Doctor would be Psychodrome from the Fifth Doctor box set. Sixth Doctor, Masters of Earth. Seventh Doctor would have to be The Higher Science, purely because it's the only one I've listened to. And Eighth Doctor, I think, Master Plan from Dark Eyes 3.
Alright, cool selection. So, Casterbarus, it's your turn.
Well, I don't have many for the first three Doctors, so I'd have to go with the ones I do have. The first Doctor, I'd have to go with the beginning. It's my only one for the first Doctor. Start at the beginning. The second Doctor, I'd have to be my only other second Doctor story, The Dying Light. Third Doctor would have to be Finding a Place, although he doesn't really come into the second part of the story, but that's a good Third Doctor story. Fourth Doctor, The Justice of Jalxar by John Dornan.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Fifth Doctor, I'd have to say Kingmaker. Fifth Doctor, would have to be... That's more difficult. There's some other ones. The Davros. And the seventh Doctor would have to be Master, and the eighth Doctor would have to be Dark Eyes.
Alright, I'll go and then Taylor can probably go. So my only first Doctor one I have at this current moment in time is The Revenants. The second Doctor, the only one I've got as well is Lords of the Red Planet, the Genesis of the Ice Warriors, so it's quite a good story. And then the only third Doctor one I've got is Bluetooth For the Fourth Doctor, it's quite a tricky one, but I sort of want to say Devil's Armada. But if we exclude the box sets, I will probably say Zygon Hunt,
Hmm.
Doctor, Butcher of Brisbane. Now, the Sixth Doctor is a bit of a toss-up between Jubilee and Project Twilight. Quite a good one. Seventh Doctor, Fires of Vulcan, and the Eighth Doctor, Dark Eyes, but I'll probably say Seasons of Fear.
Oh, I forgot to do a monthly range one. I was
Well,
gonna do one, but I rather left it out. Um, this is probably someone probably wouldn't say this, but it would be the unnatural history of fear. I forgot to mention
The
the
natural
monthly
history.
range. Yeah,
That's a good one. Although it isn't, yeah, it's atypical, isn't it?
yeah.
A really good story.
Well, I don't think Taylor's back, so I guess you have to move on.
right, okay, so for people who haven't completed the first 50, or if you don't know, the first 50 audios, some of them are out of print. Some of the people who haven't got the out of print audios, which is your most sort of anticipated audio you would like to get from the first 50? So, Luke, would you like to go?
I haven't got any from the first 50, so I'm not really sure. But I guess the one I would like to get the most at the moment would probably be Red Dawn.
Oh, Red Dawn.
That's a quite surprising one.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
no, Taylor's still not back.
Or maybe, what's it called? Storm Warning, that was it. That might be another one. Toss up between them two.
Yeah, the first Eighth Doctor one.
Yeah.
Kai, is there any first 50 audios you would like to get?
I've listened to some of these, but I don't actually have some of them. But so I'd have to say Project Twilight, Project Lazarus. What was the other one? I was going to say Spare Parts, obviously. I've listened to most of those, but not really. What else is there? So I'm just looking on the page now, Convicts. Probably the Marian Conspiracy.
Oh, God, that's a good one.
Taylor, do you want to go for your list of favourite Doctor audios?
Yeah, sure, I guess. As I said, I'm gonna skip the first four. Fifth Doctor. Oh, that's a hard one, actually. To be really honest, I I agree with Tom. Fifth Doctor's not a great Doctor.
Yeah.
I wasn't very lucky that he did actually choke on my water.
I'm actually quite stumped. I don't.
Just one.
I guess out of all of them, I'd say for performance, I guess Fifth Doctor probably did best in Spare Parts. I actually think he was quite good in that one, but as a story, it's kind of slow. Sixth Doctor, I'd have. Oh, that's a hard one as well. I can't really say the Signs of Time, but that one's quite a good one. I'm gonna say Jubilee. I think that's his best one. Be right back.
Oh, no. He was wanted.
Oh gosh. Right, so TJ,
What was the question? Oh, yeah, I know what the question was. It was, which one was my hardest out of print audio to get?
yeah, let's go for that.
Well, my hardest out of print audio to get was Storm Warning. And I had a long time getting this one, months on end, looking through eBay to get it. I saw bids go to 200 quid for it. And then finally, I went into a shop and got it for 10 quid. So what a bargain that was. Yeah, it took me about 4 months to hunt Storm Warning down. For a reasonable price.
My hardest one, I would say, is Time of the Daleks, the first Dalek story with McGann. So I think it took me about 5 attempts before I actually got it and won it. So yeah, Taylor, is there any sort of first 50 audios you'd like to get what are out of print?
I've actually got a list. Probably out of all of them, just because a couple of months ago, I think it might have been Harry Williams, I'm not sure, said Chimes of Midnight was a good one. And I was going to get it until I found out it was out of print. So that's probably the one I'm going to hunt down first. Because apparently that's quite a good one as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, Chimes is well, it is a classic.
Yeah, people even say it rivals with Dark Eyes.
I can't see why it does.
No, I don't see that happening, but still, it's a good monthly range.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
I think it was in my top 5 monthly range audios, I think. Don't really remember.
That was a long time ago, that video.
Oh, back in the early days of my channel.
Now here's a question for Kai. Are there any other Big Finish ranges what intrigue you?
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's
Probably because
go with Kai.
yeah, probably 'cause I'm the most experimental out of really Big Finish fans. So the things that might intrigue other Big Finish fans. Is that a question? Ben?
Sorry, what was that?
We couldn't hear you.
All right, okay. This is a question for all of you. Are there any other Big Finish sort of ranges you'd like to delve into or you're looking forward to?
Can I start first?
Yeah, if you want.
Alright. Well, Kai be really happy at this. It's Dorian Gray. Look at him with the smile on his face. Yeah, Dorian Gray, there was a free download of the first episode. It was like 30 minutes long, I think. And my god, it was just absolutely fantastic. And I'm already keen to getting the Dorian Gray series. Definitely Series 1 and Series 2 on Amazon, I'm definitely looking into. And with the spin-offs, I am diving into the Doctor Who spin-offs a little bit. It's Jago and Lightfoot really intrigued me. I've got the Worlds of Doctor Who up there, and it's just a fantastic release. And both Jago and Lightfoot are both fantastic. They are. And of course, we cannot forget the Gallifrey series. Just a whopping series it is as well. And has a new release coming up called Gallifrey Invention Earth, which also seems really intriguing. So yeah. It's Dorian Gray, Jago and Lightfoot, and Gallifrey, which have intrigued me to get further this year.
Can I go next?
Yeah, you can.
Dorian Gray as well.
Look at them.
I have to agree. When Kai told us about the first episode being a free download, I listened to it in the middle of the night, and it weren't great. It was
No, don't listen to the
it
middle.
scared me. Really good. As Tom said, I'm gonna sometime over this month buy the Series 1 and 2 box set on Amazon. And yeah, it's brilliant. And I also bought the I Davros miniseries, and that was very good as well. Good, interesting ending as well. But no spoilers, because it is quite an important.
Because I haven't listened to it yet. But I want it.
Everyone dies. No, they don't.
Thanks, Kai.
I guess I would probably go for I think Doctor Who spin-offs. I'd go Countermeasures, as that one quite intrigues me a lot. And in terms of just other Big Finish ranges, I'd probably go Blake 7, because I recently started watching the TV series, and and I'll probably have to wait till I finish the TV series before I delve into that. But I think it's something I would look forward to in the future.
Yeah, it's definitely a good range. I mean, I've got a few myself, like I said before. But yeah, I like Nexa.
Yeah, I've heard the Liberator Chronicles are good.
They are quite good. I'm very good for very good at exploiting the audiobook format.
Yeah. Has everyone been answered, Ben?
Well, I suppose I go on to my sort of thing about spin-off. Survivors, that's had only good reviews, so I think.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh.
Damn it. Why did I forget about Survivors?
Everyone forget.
No, I love it, I do. I love the TV series as well. Oh, it's a shame. Forgot about them. Anyway, carry on, Ben, sorry.
And then I would probably say Dorian Gray as well. That's sort of got me hooked, the little teaser.
Did you listen to the first episode?
Yes, I did.
What do you think? That's good.
It is a good listen. Then I would probably say Jago and Lightfoot, because I love them in the justice of Jalaxar and talent of Wang Chiang, so you can't go wrong with Jago and Lightfoot. So next question is, do you think Big Finish should get the new series license for Doctor Who? So if we start off with Kai.
Well, I just say I feel like that's such an advantage because I've listened to most of your recommendations already. But I think they should. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure if that would be different to the new series. I mean, the new series is just 45 minutes, quick dynamic stories. But with I think the classic era suited the audio format more because it's 2 hours in a serial form, which is better for recording. For this, it's just like 45 minutes or an hour on a CD. Can you really tell a proper good story in that time? Well, allow them to do it. You can get Christopher Eccleston back in the park, and you also, I think, I wouldn't mind it. Just it's not an urgent thing for me.
Okay, cool. So Luke.
I think it would be quite cool, to be honest. I think maybe just the 10th and 9th Doctors. So I think pushing it to the 11th and 12th at the moment would be a bit too far in terms of licensing and whatnot, because that's quite recent. But I think, yeah, I'd listen to 10th Doctor stories. 9th Doctor, it depends whether they get Christopher Eccleston back in, really. That's the only issue I see there.
Am I next?
If you want, TJ.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. It would have been absolutely brilliant. What I would love to see is like a John Hurt sort of audio, like in the Time War setting. That would
Oh,
just
yeah.
be just the best thing ever.
Yeah.
The Ninth Doctor would be quite of an issue because he's not really like in Doctor Who anymore, really. But 10th, 11th, and 12th, I wouldn't be that bold about it. But I'm looking at the War Doctor, and I think, yeah, it would have worked. It would be brilliant because he's not when he's in Day of the Doctor. I don't class him as like not really big at the part of the story. Not really one of my favorite Doctors. So if he did have his own spin-off series for Big Finish, it would be brilliant. I think it would rank up It would rank up the Doctor for me.
Yeah.
What you said, Tom. I think an audio with John Hurt would be marvellous. Also, an audio with John Hurt and Derek Jacobi as the Master would be.
Oh,
Stop
God.
it, I would love that.
Because Derek Jacobi has worked with Big Finish once before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
In the Unbound series.
it would work brilliant.
You never know. Which is a
And
joke.
also, you could do 8th Doctor in the Time War as well.
That would be good, yeah. You have him, the
the early
periphery of
days.
the war rather than getting fully involved. And the War Doctor would be more involved in the action a bit more
Yeah.
than get the heart of it fighting.
Mm.
In a way, I say sort of Dark Eyes is sort of a lead up to the Time War.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about that too. Just where Dark Eyes finishes, it would go into like a Time War sort of box set. So that with John Hurt, it would work really well.
Yeah, it's like To the Death and Dark Eyes are kind of like building up to Time War and, as we know now, the Night of the Doctor.
Yeah.
So Taylor, do you think Doctor Who should Big Finish should get the new series license?
If they do, I'd agree with Tom. I probably wouldn't be interested in 10th and 11th Doctor stories. I'd say 12 maybe because I think his voice would work well in
Sexy
audio.
Scottish accents.
9th Doctor probably wouldn't happen.
You never know, though, really. You can get Tom Baker back. Don't lose hope.
I don't know. I doubt it. But War Doctor, I could see them being a box set, and it goes from Time War. I don't know if they did. If let's just call it, say, a Time War box set. They did, I don't know, 2 box sets, then set Night of the Doctor, and then do another 2. It would be quite good. And
Yeah,
I
I
think
agree with that.
it would give
Yeah.
the War Doctor a lot more character development because I don't know. I just didn't like. I didn't even like his character that much in the 50th. I think they shouldn't have brought a new Doctor into it. I mean, it worked the plot, but I don't know. I just didn't like his character in it. And I would have actually preferred it if I know this kind of wouldn't work, but if the 8th Doctor would have I think the Eighth Doctor would have worked better if he was the one that could have killed out all the Time Lords, but obviously it didn't work like that. But still, oh well. I'd
I
like
don't
to
have,
see New Who get the license.
I don't have a problem with John Hurt's Doctor being in it, but I do have a problem with John. No, I mean I don't have a problem with John Hurt's Doctor, but I do have a problem with him being introduced, kind of like thrown in the middle and whatnot. That's what annoys me about the War Doctor.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Just to point you out, Ben, we've got questions down below for the comments.
Right, we'll do the questions at the end because I think
Rightio.
that'll be a nice way to wrap it up in a way. For me, with the new series, I was a bit sad that John Hurt didn't do a reading of Engines of War because I think his voice definitely suits audio. But if Christopher Eccleston did return, it would be a thing. What would intrigue me, that's why I was intrigued with Night of Whispers, the Destiny of the Doctor audio.
Hmm.
I would be interested in the 11th Doctor, obviously, because I'm a huge 11th Doctor fan. Because I think Matt would be the same as Tom Baker with the mannerisms, because his voice is very sort of expressive. So now we move on to the final two questions. Have you picked up any recent Big Finish, or have you picked up any Big Finish, really? So if we start off with TJ.
I couldn't actually hear that question because Kai's computer was overheating while you said the question.
Yeah, there is Whoadix commented and said they can't
You
hear
need to
Kai.
say the question again.
Right, the question is, have you picked up any Big Finish merchandise recently?
Let me just. Well, I have pre-ordered stuff, if that'll count. But yeah, well, actually, I forgot to say something. I have actually completed 1 to 50 now. All those out of print nonsense, it's all done and dusted. Thanks a round of applause.
Yeah.
It's such a satisfying feeling getting all those out of print orders away, because some of them go to like 200 quid, and like Storm Warning, for example, is a nightmare to get. Yeah, I'm happy to get 1 to 50. For pre-orders, I've got that Gareth Roberts novel adaptations of The English Way of Death and The Romance of Crime, I believe it's called. Yeah, it does excite me to see Tom Baker and Lala Ward back in action again. I think this is the first time they're in a Big Finish audio together, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, I think you're correct there. And I think they're
Right.
doing season 5 of Romana.
Yeah, that'll be pretty good as well. And for other releases, well, what else have we pre-ordered? I'm trying to think now.
Didn't you do a 12-month subscription from
Oh yeah,
Mistfall
that's
or
it. That's right. Yeah, I did do a 12-month subscription for the most recent one, started with Mistfall, and now go all the way to the last one of 2015. So, and I got a free gift as well. It's the Trial of the Valiard. Next person.
All right, okay. Luke, have you picked up any recent Big Finish, or are you planning to pick up any more?
Most recent thing I picked up was 12-month subscription, like TJ, only starting with Irani Elite instead, so I'll get one, well not one less release, but one release back. And I got Trial of the Valiard as my free gift as well. And as for planning, I'm not sure at the moment. I'm not really sure at the moment. I don't think may get Dark Eyes 4.
Absolutely. Anyone watching, if you haven't got Dark Eyes, get it immediately.
Well, preferably
Get it now!
So Taylor.
Yes, sorry, what was the question? I was sorting out, reading comments on this video.
What Big Finish are you planning to pick up, or you've picked up and you're waiting to arrive?
Well, there's a lot.
Just go for the release.
Okay. I got a couple of monthly range. I ordered some. What were they? I forgot now. What did I say? Blood Tide, something else.
Embrace the Darkness, was it?
Embrace the Darkness and the Holy Terror. That's it. And I should be probably order some more, maybe in a couple of days' time from the monthly range, 1 to 50.
Oh, and those 2 John Dorney ones.
Oh yeah, King of Sontar and the Crooked Man. What else? I got Jubilee a couple of weeks ago. I'm trying to think. There's so many. Ones I want is Mistfall, the January monthly range. I'm not sure about the other 2 in that trilogy. I think I might skip them.
Aquilium doesn't seem that good. I like the 3rd one, the Entropy Plague. That looks really good.
I think the third one definitely looks a little bit better than the second one. If the third one gets reviews and it says you don't have to listen to the second one,
Yeah,
then
the
I'll
second one I would say was the weakest. I can see your point. The blurb of it didn't really intrigue me at all.
I also am planning to get Dorian Gray season 1 and 2, and I'm also planning to get the Fourth Doctor Adventures series 4 episode 2, Darkness of Glass, because it actually sounds really good. And also the Fourth Doctor season 2, Justice of Jalxar, or if that's how you
yeah.
Oh, that's something else I'm thinking of getting.
Yeah, that's a cracker of a story.
And if I find it for a good price, Dark Eyes.
Oh, of course.
Can't forget Dark Eyes.
And obviously other monthly range 1 to 50s if I have the time to and money to buy them.
All right, Casterbrus.
Well, I've got a few things I'm planning to buy next year. Well, I've already pre-ordered the next series of Dark Shadows, Lost. That's something else we can talk about at a later date. I pre-ordered that Gallifrey special. I'm thinking of maybe downloading a few of the first 50 monthly range audios. Because I'm not going to jump over hedges to get a physical release. It's $2.99. Don't you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
we can-
Yeah.
Just
I don't
be
think-
close to the microphone. and you
Yeah,
Because my green thing doesn't go up and down all the time.
because a couple of people in the comments have been saying they can't hear you.
Yeah, that's got a crap computer. Oh yes, I'm getting the 2 box sets of Survivors as well. That's really good. And I'm kind of juggling with the idea of whether I should get the Omega Factor, the first box set of that at a later date. I'll think about that.
should- Oh, yeah.
Probably get more Dark Shadows later during the year. And well, obviously Dorian Gray when it comes out at the end of this year. Can't really remember what more specifically.
No, that's pretty cool. For me, I've done a 12-month subscription as well, from Mistfall till Planet of the Rani. I've also subscribed to the Fourth Doctor Adventures Season 4 because they sound brilliant stories. And I'm waiting for a couple in the post, which is Domain of the Void, the Poseidon Adventure, and the Trail of the White Worm. And
And the
Revenge of
5
the Swarm.
companions. Wait for the 5
And the 5
companions.
Companions, which was my free gift.
Yes.
Pardon?
Yeah, I was
Oh, I
just
forgot about
reminding you.
Yeah, it was just because it was Davison. I just forget Davison.
Oh, I
for some
didn't know,
reason.
but screw Davison. Kai doesn't know very happy about that.
Poor Peter. So many haters.
What a bland Doctor. Sorry for Fifth Doctor fans. Sorry.
You're forgiven.
We
I love the Fifth Doctor.
You're not.
sorry.
I think
Um,
it's 3 versus 2 here, so unfortunately this time you've lost.
Right. Anyway, so Big Finish, we've got some exciting things coming out this year. So, are there any other things? Sort of the same question as before. But are there any other releases you're sort of anticipating? So, like the Third Doctor Adventures, which I'm quite excited about, obviously.
Oh, that October box set.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm intrigued to hear about the Rani release. It's going to be with the 7th Doctor now. That's something interesting.
Were you on about Planet of the Rani?
I
Oh,
thought that
yeah.
was sick.
That's Sixth Doctor and Constance, is it?
Yeah, that's the
Did you-
6th Doctor with her new companion in that one, the Planet of the Rani.
Okay, I made a mistake. Well, I'm interested in hearing about the 6th Doctor's new companion then.
I'm intrigued about more Seventh Doctor and Mel because Mel works a lot better on audio.
Yeah.
Fires of Vulcan.
Fires of Vulcan is just mwah. Also, Dark Eyes 4 is another anticipated release for me.
Oh, I forgot to mention Dark Eyes 4. Yes, I'm going to get Dark Eyes 4.
Who
Yeah.
is it?
Are there any other releases you guys are wanting to pick up?
Well, I'll just start with the monthly range for 2015. They just all look fantastic, so that's why I did that subscription. But that well, it's 188, 189, and no, sorry, 198, 199, 200. Oh, what really intriguing me is the Defectors, Last of the Cybermen, and the Secret History. They all are really intriguing me, those releases.
Yeah, but it's not
Fourth Doctor, Season 4 is
That's
also really
yeah.
intriguing me as well. And, oh yeah, of course, Dark Eyes 4. Anything else? Oh yeah, that third Doctor box set in October.
I'm interested in seeing if, or hearing more accurately, if Mike Yates is going to go into space in the second one, The Havoc of Empires.
Yeah, you can travel in the TARDIS.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a shame John Levine isn't really a fan of Big Finish.
No, I haven't seen him do an audio.
He did Companion Chronicle, The Council of War.
Oh yeah, I think that's the only one he's done.
Anyone's happy at the time. Do you all
Right.
get subscriptions then to the main range?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does have.
I'm not, because there's a few. I don't like doing that because 6 of them haven't even, like, there's no plot confirmed or anything, I don't think. So I don't want to risk it.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, it's a good call anyway.
I
Yeah.
don't get subscriptions because I don't want to get every Doctor Who story. Like I don't have every Doctor Who DVD. I don't want to get every single Doctor Who story. I want to get the cherry pick the best ones. That's why I just keep it in out to the main range. Get whatever, whenever.
Yeah, like, the first 6 months of the monthly range is only 3, which I want. And that's the first one, and the 4th one, and the 5th one. I don't really want the 5th Doctor, number 200 on. I might not get it.
I'm slightly happy with you with that. Still, I will say the Secret History I am looking forward to.
I'd say the other 2 sound better, though.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Last of the Cyberman might be mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
In fairness though, if you don't get Secret History, you're not going to get the rest of the trilogy, so you're kind of going to have to get it if you're going to get the rest.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's true. They probably will interlink.
But the covers are so fantastic for those releases.
Tom Webster doing DVDs would be brilliant.
Yeah.
It would.
Yeah.
I'd say the DVDs over the past couple of years have actually been quite good. The Ice Warriors.
Yeah, I would say that, but just Tom Webster has something unique about his artwork on the covers. He just looks so alive.
Hmm.
I do like Lee Binding, who does most of the DVD covers.
Yeah, I like him as well, but I think Tom Webster might be a little better in my books.
Did the early adventures, and then great covers for the early adventures.
Oh yeah, the early adventures.
Oh no, I forgot about them. I did get all of season 1. I forgot about that. I
Yeah.
was gonna get 7. I was planning to do an overview of my channel of all of them, and then ranking them in all in order. Same thing I did with Tom Pickers season 3. And yeah, they're all brilliant. And I'm definitely gonna get season 2. I'm glad I got into that range.
Is season 2 going to be half Hartnell, half
I
Trans?
think they're all gonna be 2 Doctor stories, second Doctor stories.
But they cast what's her name, Gemma Powell or something like that as the new Barbara. And they said that she'd already recorded some, so unless they're recording that far in advance, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but the first story in season 2 is the Yes Man, which is a kind
Yeah.
of trans story. But I forgot the writer, but he says it's one of his best scripts.
That's the thing to be aware about Big Finish. It just takes all your money.
Do you know, all my money I think goes to them.
Literally.
All my hard-earned money goes to Big Finish, but they deserve it.
It's true.
Oh,
I'd
definitely.
say some people say they're overpriced.
I think they're reasonable.
Well, yeah, depending on the releases, really. Some of
The
them are
monthly range, people say the monthly range are overpriced, but I don't think so because they
No.
release them monthly, so that
No,
it's
I
going to
don't
cost
think,
them
I
a
don't
lot.
think so. I think £15 is fine.
Plus, they've recently done a massive discount on subscriptions for the monthly range, so, you know, they're going to
Yeah, they do loads of discounts. I don't think the Big Finish aren't greedy.
Nah.
I mean,
And plus, there you go,
compared to
Carl.
how much they need in order to make all this audio drama, they don't really make a lot in comparison, do they?
No, they don't.
No, but I would say they need to, because if you see in the monthly range from 50, which used to be a fiver until it was out of print, and then 51 was £14, it's a big jump. So I think they need to start putting, even if when all of 1 to 50 are out of print, they really need to cut down the price, because like this, maybe even the same price as the Companion Chronicles, because some of the Companion Chronicles are $8.99.
Yeah, but there's a difference between that, because with the Companion Chronicles, there are either 2 or 3 actors. These are full cast dramas with lots of sound design.
Yeah.
They're so old. They're 12 years old. You know. They're
Because they're 2 hours long. You need to pay all the actors, all the show time, all the directors. It just adds all up into this quite expensive production, and you will have the Big Finish do a lot of post-production on their releases. You know, it is quite pricey, and they do charge us a reasonable amount. I mean, they're very fair, Big Finish, I think.
The thing you've got to remember about the finish is they give you free downloads of the story. I think it's unlimited if they download.
Exactly.
I think that makes it worthwhile because you get the downloads and you can download it on your phone and just listen to that and wait for the
Yeah.
show.
Lots of other
Right.
companies don't do that.
Yeah, well, I can say thanks to that download anyway, because since I downloaded it, I wanted Dorian Gray.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's free, so why not?
You might as well. If they do their soundtrack stuff
Questions,
as well.
What'd you say, Ben?
we go on to questions and wrap this thing up.
There are a lot of questions.
Oh, good.
Do your final question, and I'll read some of them in the comments. All
You've
of
got
them.
11 likes already.
We're
Hey,
so,
it's a start.
we're so famous.
Right, we're doing some more of these. They're very successful.
Yeah, there's literally Hoodex, loads
We're not
watching.
used to this on the
Hello,
high
everyone. Thank you so
Hello.
much.
We don't get this attention on the high
I
count.
will ask all your comments after what Ben's going to say. What's your final question, Ben?
No, we've done the questions. Let's go and do the
Oh,
thingy.
I'll read out the comments then. Alright, we have Adam the Ultimate Whovian, brilliant YouTuber, of course. How does Tom Baker's acting compare from the 4th Doctor Season 1 compared to his recent ones, Season 3 and Season 4? To be honest, I don't... Oh, sorry. But go ahead.
I have to say, the first couple of Tom Baker seasons are a bit iffy, but I think season 3 he's finally grounded his sort of performance on audio. Of course, his voice has changed, but everyone's voice has changed, and I
Yeah.
just think he's a bit more refined in the later releases, especially series 3 onwards, especially with Philip Hinchcliffe and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with Ben. He definitely did improve from Season 3. Looked like he put more enthusiasm into the audio than like Season 1, for example. Here, next question is from Lewis Murphy, and he does, please could you recommend a Big Finish story from every Doctor Who range being done?
Oh gosh.
Every range or every Doctor.
Well, every Doctor Who range. We don't have to do all of them, but probably the most well-known ones would be a good start, absolutely.
Remind you. It's not going to remind us how many ranges there are.
Right.
There's the 8th Doctor.
Yeah, Blood of the Daleks would be an absolute brilliant start.
There's
Yeah, obviously. 'Cause then you
Lights
get
the End. If you do not have that one, I would definitely get that one.
Yeah.
what about 4th Doctor?
Disappointing Infinite
King of
and
Sontar I would start
yeah,
with.
King of Sontar.
What else is there? Companion Chronicles.
Perrin the Piscon Paradox, I would probably say.
To be honest, there's tons of Companion
Lost
Chronicles.
Stories, I would say Nightmare Fair.
Yeah, Nightmare Fair, since it's the first one, it's a brilliant one anyway.
For the Companion Chronicles, though, I will say I haven't got it, but people have recommended me the Sarah Kingdom stories. They can start off with that, or the Oliver Harper stories with the first one. So people have recommended starting there with the Companion Chronicles.
Aren't they trilogies?
Well, yeah, but you don't need to get them all at once, do you? You can just get one
Yeah.
and then go later and get the rest. But also for the Lost Stories, I might have to say Thin Ice.
Yeah, the one from season 27, which got, it didn't happen.
Which really kind of exploits the concept of Lost Stories really well.
Yeah. Do you want to move on to the next question?
Should we just let everyone have a go, because there's quite a big sort of topic to discuss there, isn't it?
Alright, go on.
So for the Lost Stories, I would say the Tom Baker box, even though it's quite a hefty price, you can get it cheaper on other places, obviously. And that's a very good box set. What would I recommend from the 4th Doctor, Season 3 onwards? If you're a fan of Romanoff in Season 2. 8th Doctor, Blood of the Daleks, because then you get to see the characters develop and obviously don't start with To the Death and Lucy Miller because it's
That would
just
spoil it.
it's
That's
just
all. We can get Dark Eyes 1.
yeah.
Yeah, Kai's right. You don't have to worry about listening to the previous Eighth Doctor adventures to get into Dark Eyes. I think mostly everyone here who has got Dark Eyes went in blind. And
Yeah, I did.
Well, I knew what happened to Lucy Miller, that's why I got Dark Eyes. So, but most people went into it straight away. But as someone who's listened to both originally, well, I can definitely say you don't need to listen to the Death to get Dark Eyes.
Or any other Rangers?
I would say because Doctor Who magazine did that free giveaway, didn't they? A download of Dark Eyes. So I
Yeah.
went into with that. Luke, have you got any sort of recommendation from any of the Rangers?
I guess I'd go the Fifth Doctor box set isn't exactly a range. I think it's under special releases.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'd go for that one as a good. I think they're going to do more Fifth Doctor box sets, aren't they? Or
We were talking about that earlier on.
Well, we talked about it earlier, but we think they might will since they have a number 1 on the box set.
yeah, and I think it did go down quite well.
Yeah, actually sold really well.
And novel adaptations, I would recommend The Highest Science. That's a good one, even though the covers very
Terrible.
yeah.
Who did the cover for The Highest Science?
Was it Anthony Lamb? Because he's done the recent ones.
Hang on.
Because I knew it wouldn't be by Tom Webster.
No.
Tom went too sort of cartoonish in a way.
Yeah.
Also, I would say the Philip Hinchcliffe box set. That's a great box set, especially for
Covered
the
by Mark Plaster.
Sorry, what was that, Kai?
The cover to Ice Science of our chap called Mark Plaster.
I mean, it would have been fine 15 years ago, but we've moved on, and this doesn't look too good compared to some of the other ones we've had recently.
Well, pull your fun out, Mark. You're doing better nowadays.
If he's watching, then sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
No, sorry.
Any more?
Taylor, have you got any
Oh
more?
yeah, I forgot about Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor.
From other ranges, well, I'd say as a whole range, I'd say get Idavros.
Oh, that was a good one mentioning.
Is that like a sub? Should we talk about spin-offs
Yeah.
after these
Yeah,
other
you got
ones?
spin-offs.
Yeah, if anyone's interested about the Davros series, it's basically like before the events of Genesis of the Daleks, where they look into Davros's history.
It's
And
essentially.
sorry, take away, Kai.
No, you can. Sorry, I interrupted you.
All right. Yeah, it's basically looking into Davros's history about like his family that he was forced into a life of being a soldier. He was. It's some really interesting stuff. I personally have not heard Davros, but what I have seen for reviews and comments about Davros, it's one of the best spin-offs ever. So that's pretty
And then
good.
listen to Davros from the monthly range.
Yeah.
Grounding story.
Also in Idavros, it's quite interesting because you see Davros from a childhood, and he sort of finds out a lot about the sort of science aspects when he was a child. I won't give much away, but he sort of does jump into it from an early life.
Yeah.
Do you think
Can we
that's all the
move on?
recommendations done? Have we got any more?
Any more?
We've got questions. We've got loads of questions.
I think it's best to move on to the next question.
Right, let's move on.
The next question is rather the same thing. It says, "What's an audio would you recommend starting with?" Well, I said the Light at the End. If you don't have a single audio, go with Light at the End, absolutely, because as I said, you can get a taste of all the Doctors, and you can pick which one you like before. Say if you like the Fourth Doctor, for example, then go for his. Anyone else want to make that question?
Agree. Yeah, Light at the End.
I'd say just because we've sort of from the television series, you've already seen quite a lot of all the Doctors. I think it's more worthwhile to see a little bit more of Eighth Doctor, if that's what you're interested in. If you want to see the other Doctors, then yeah, go for Light at the End. But I think if you're more interested in seeing stuff which you haven't seen before, as such, I'd say go for Blood of the Daleks. It's a good
And
start.
then get them in order, yeah, because it feels good.
Well,
Or
I'd say
But
in
avoid the
the
bad ones.
yeah, like Immortal Beloved.
But yeah, the only thing is just don't get Lucy Mirren to the death last. Just pick
First.
some light ones which seem interesting to you, which are good, and then get Lucy Mirren to the death.
And I'd say get them off eBay because there's some thing called, I think it's called Speedy Hen, who sell them quite cheap. About £7 each, I think.
So what's that? I missed the last couple of minutes. What was that?
We just asked practically the same questions earlier.
Yes, just what audio would you think about starting with? Just an audio.
Have you talked about the monthly range? I don't think we've talked about that for Doctor Who, have we yet?
Well,
Have you
go
got
Jubilee.
what's the monthly range?
Yeah, I'd say Jubilee would be a good start. Even it is still in print on the Big Finish website, so why not Jubilee?
But even for ones that aren't in print, if you don't mind getting downloads, probably be Sirens of Time, Storm Warning, which is McGann's first one. Jubilee, like you said, the Marian Conspiracy, which is Evelyn Smythe's first story, which is the first original Big Finish companion made. There are a few jumping on points really. There's like a page on Big Finish website where it's start with Big Finish. Just click on that, and you're pretty much safe with that.
Yeah, Chloe's right. You can. Well, sorry about that, Luke. Do you want to go first or me?
No, you can go first. It's fine.
All right. Yeah, Kai was right. You can do all the outprint ones. You can download on the Big Finish website. But everyone here, except for Kai, don't really like downloads, really.
No,
So you're a bit of an old-fashioned sort of person.
I do like CDs.
We're ready.
But Kai's a bit of a download guy.
No, you saw my collection. I have lots of CDs.
Yeah, you did say that. You did say that in your collection.
If it's necessary, I get the downloads. I'm just not hindered by the fact I'm not paying over £10 more just because I can't get it.
Yeah, you did say you had a space issue.
Yeah.
You said that a good one was Sirens of Time. I'd say it's good if you want to collect them all, or at least say, oh, I've got the first Big Finish. As a story, I find it's crap.
I sort of agree with you. I find it rather slow. I don't like the first part with Sylvester McCoy.
No, I like the second and third part. I don't.
Surprisingly, I like the second part. Surprisingly.
Yeah, I think the second and third parts are good. It falls to pieces in the fourth, and
Colin steals the show. Absolutely.
Compared to today's standard audio drama from Big Finish, it isn't up to scratch as much. Me personally, I'd say it was an alright story to start with. If you want to start from the beginning, kind of chart beyond that, it's a good place to start, I'd say, because it's a good story, because it features the first three Big Finish Doctors. So I think you'd be pretty safe getting Sirens of Time, even though it's not the best thing Big Finish have ever produced. So it's still reasonable to get the Sirens of Time, even if it's not as advanced as the recent spate of Big Finish audio dramas.
Anyone else? Alright, go ahead.
I'd say if you like post-apocalyptic stuff, then it's probably a good idea to go for Masters of Earth, because that's a very good Sixth Doctor story, and it's fairly easy starting on point in the main range. That's where I started with the main range, so I'd recommend Masters of Earth.
Yeah, I would say the McGann and Charlie trilogy, because that's quite a good trilogy, because you see Charlie as a character progress, and it's sort of a new series sort of trilogy with sort of the Impossible Girl in a way. For the Eighth Doctor as well, I'd say the Silver Turk, the Mary Shelley trilogy. That's another good trilogy.
That's a good one to start. Silver Turk is great.
Any more? Or do you want me to move on to the next question, Ben?
I suppose we better move on because we've covered that quite a bit.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, this will go to anyone who's got the Fifth Doctor box set. This one's from Cyberleader1010, who is a great YouTuber. I got the Fifth Doctor box set for Christmas this year, and it was amazing. That's good to know. Psychodrome was my favourite, possibly one of my top 3 Big Finish audios. Any opinions on the box set? So anyone want to go first for the Fifth Doctor box set if you got it?
I'll go first if no one else minds.
I don't think anyone else has got it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I've got it, and it is amazing. I think especially Psychodrome. I was listening to that last night, and it's such a smart story. It's a very clever story, the way they introduce loads of different elements and whatnot. From it foreshadows the rest of the Fifth Doctor well, the rest of that TARDIS team with Adric, Nyssa, and Tegan. It also kind of like backshadows, I guess if that's a word. Kind of has loads of references, but it doesn't feel dragged down by them. And Iterations of I is just a fun story, really. A
Yeah.
very smart one as well, but not in the same way that Psychodrome was.
I've got the Fifth Doctor box set as well, and yeah, Psychodrome is a very good story. It was. It's got a lot of Castrovalva elements in it as well, since it features like right after Castrovalva and before the Fall to Doomsday. But yeah, like tests all the companions' nerves and all like that, and the Doctor's fear as well. And yeah, he's actually brilliant at it, because if you know me, I'm not like big on the Fifth Doctor, but he was personally really good in this story. And Iterations of I would say it was my favorite. There's been different reviews of saying Psychodrome's their favorite or Iterations of I was their favorite, but yeah, I really like Iterations of I. That was a fun and clever story as well. So yeah, I don't think anyone else has got the Fifth Doctor box set, so we could
No.
just move on. And
Yeah,
this one's
so-
from a snazzy channel, which is Who Addicts Reviews. And what would you say is the best Big Finish Doctor Who range? Everyone's
I'd say-
thinking.
Even though I haven't
Oh,
got any,
gosh.
I'd say the nicest idea for a range is probably the Lost Stories.
Yeah,
But
there's-
I haven't listened to any, so I can't really give any comments. But it sounds the most intriguing that they
Well,
sort of plucked out some scripts and then
I've got
Yeah.
a couple. It's a good way of kind of
Yeah.
harking back to those early eras of Doctor Who where you can produce all the stories. Yeah, I've got a couple, but I can't really claim to have too much experience with the Lost Stories.
Is the Big Finish Humble Bundle still going on? Because that's got the first series of the Lost Stories, all for 15 quid, hasn't it?
Only on download.
Yeah, but I think that's still a bargain at 15 quid for all of them.
Yeah, and that price 14 quid for each CD in Big Finish. Dark Eyes is a very good range. I think that's a standout range for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I reckon this is Matthew doing this comment, since was interested of doing a bundle for all the Dark Eyes for I think it's £80 for 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I believe he's got that one. But if you're looking for any others for my favourite, it would probably be the Lost Stories, since they've adapted stories which were too ambitious for the time, obviously, such as season 20. No, what was it? The one that featuring after Trial of the Time Lord, like the Nightmare Fair, just gives you an insight what the stories would actually be like if they actually, existed on film. But Big Finish tried their best to actually adapt it into a story, and also like what happened after Survival as well. So, and some second and fourth Doctor Lost stories as well. So yeah, I'd probably say my favourite would be the Lost Stories.
I would also like to add the fourth Doctor Adventures there. They're quite standout from Series 3, really. I do like Series 2, actually.
Alright, I'm just gonna have to refresh the page if any more comments are coming through.
there are a few. There's quite a few to go through.
Don't worry, we've got them out.
I'll read out one, I
Well,
guess.
well, for me to answer the question, I think I'd have to say probably the Eighth Doctor range, with Paul McGann and Lucy Miller. Probably my favourite. And they still show them on Radio 4 Extra, so it's
Alright, do you want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, I'm fine with
let's
that.
go.
Okay, this one's from another brilliant YouTuber, which is J Arkham Reviews, and his question is, not sure if you already talked about this, as I've only just joined. Well, it's brilliant that you did join, mate. Who is your favourite Big Finish companion? And it cannot be from the ones from the TV show, yet it can be people from the comics, e.g. like Frobisher, for example.
Evelyn
So-
Smythe.
Yeah, hi.
I'd go for Lucy Miller.
Ben? Guess you go next.
Molly. I've got to say, I like Molly.
Tardy Box.
I
Tardy
love
Box.
it. They call it a tardy box. It's great.
But you're talking so much rubbish in your tardy box.
I love Lucy. No, not Lucy and Molly. Oh,
Molly.
Freudian slip.
Molly, that's the one.
Did you say Luke?
I haven't really listened to that many the original Big Finish, well, ones that aren't from the TV series, but I guess from what I have heard, I'd probably say Livchenko.
Oh yeah, interesting one.
She is
Well, I have to agree with Kai absolutely. Evelyn, you gotta love Evelyn. Just their chemistry together is beautiful.
You're right.
I've listened to the first story, the Marine Conspiracy, and there's just some beautiful stuff going in that audio. And it's a very good story itself, and they've had some brilliant stories together, like Jubilee, The
Blood
Crimes
Fight.
of Thomas Brewster.
Blood
Any
Fight.
other Big Finish companions? I do like Flip. If you haven't heard her, she's had a couple of stories with the Sixth Doctor, like The Curse of Davros, the Fourth War, We're an Isle. But then the second one, the writers couldn't really write Flip very well, I've heard some people say. And if you love Big Finish, then you'll love Bernice Summerfield, our lovely Benny.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
she's awesome. She is. She's quite mad in some audios. I've got the new adventures of Bernice Summerfield. She's quite mad as a hatter, but she's still brilliant.
I listened
Played
to
by
the
Lisa
higher
Bowerman.
sides, and I'd say I'm gonna swap Livchenko for Benny.
Oh, that's good.
I just yeah.
Cool.
She was definitely born in the 90s, you can tell. She's not a kid, she's a bit of a drinker. No, kiddies.
Do you want to move on?
Yeah.
Actually, wait a sec. That's actually a good point to say because Wesley McCammon, it took him 5 months to get light at the end. I got to admit, Big Finish are a little bit not great
well,
on postage.
they can't do international ones very well because they're
I
only.
mean, haven't you had a couple lost in the post? I've had one, which I've had Immortal Beloved, which I waited months for, and it eventually came, and it was crap. So
Well, yeah. Sometimes I do have. Well, it depends on some people. Do you want to say how long it takes you to get Big Finish audios? It takes me
Yeah,
usually
it
about
takes
3 weeks.
10 days for me.
10 days? Well, I wish I was you.
Yeah.
Well, for me,
Yeah.
I've never had a problem with Big Finish posting. I mean, I know a few people that we talk to have. Me, I get it in between about 10 days to a week. I mean, 10 days to 2 weeks, rather.
Yeah.
Well, I've had no issue whatsoever.
And I've also had some issues with pre-orders as well. I pre-ordered Zygon Hunt, but I had really big trouble with that one. And then, yeah, I did pre-order it like in June or so, and then it just didn't happen. When it released, I didn't get it, unfortunately.
Do you get the subscription to Series 3, or did you get them individually?
No, I didn't get them. I got them individually.
Alright.
I got the subscription, and Zygon Hunt took ages to show up.
I think it was an issue generally then for postage of Zygon, and since there might have been a few.
Oh, I did have a problem with Big Finish actually, because I ordered a big bundle and the Four Doctors was missing and her final flight was missing. Big bundle.
Yeah, it had to be the subscriber special.
Actually, I think I had one issue, but that was back in 2013, and fanfare for the common men never arrived, but I managed to get it another way. So that was probably my only issue I've had with Big Finish, though. The rest have either just been arrived in a reasonable amount of time, or maybe just a little bit later than usual.
Yeah.
Next question.
Right, we're popular on it.
Well, this one is from another brilliant Doctor Who YouTuber. It is Doctor Who Freak HD. Who's answered 2 questions, but I'll ask his first one first. Sorry if this question has been answered already, but what is everyone's first Big Finish audio? Yeah, we've already said that, but he says another one. And what range did you start collecting first? And many thanks, which is great.
Yeah, thank you for watching.
Yeah, first range.
Fourth Doctor
Monthly
Adventures for me.
For me, it was the monthly range, I guess. Yeah, the monthly range. Then I sort of dived into what they call it? Oh, the Eighth Doctor Adventures. Yeah.
Same here.
the first one I got was from the monthly range, but the first one I actually tried collecting is the Eighth Doctor range, first series. First series, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as I said earlier, the first audio I got was Master, and yeah, that was part of the monthly range, so that's where I kind of started off, really.
And it's still your favourite audio, isn't it?
Yeah.
First one is always favourite.
As it's great. And Genocide Machine is your favourite Taylor, even though I don't think it's that great, but
Oh.
I'd say possibly not top, but it's up there, like top 3 probably.
Yeah, I think it's probably because it's his first one. It's like a special place to his heart. It's something like that, really.
Oh no, I'm not disrespecting him
Yeah.
on that.
Oh, right.
I wasn't Martin.
Because, you know, I'm a fan of a Fifth Doctor audio for my first one, and I like it.
Likewise, people would like Master as much as I do, but I do. I think it's one of the best monthly audio.
Yeah.
Part 3 for me, with little glimpse to the Doctor and the Master's childhood.
Yeah. And you can see my ranking of the top 5 Big Finish audios on my channel, Castobris the Fipster.
Watch Castobris the Fipster.
I'll put all links to the channels below so you can all subscribe.
Next question, I guess.
Next question.
Alright, it's from Arkham Asylum, and it is: would you like Big Finish to do a War Doctor story? Do War Doctor stories, yeah.
Yeah.
I think everyone knows the answer to this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously. I think it would be better in a box set format like Dark Eyes.
I agree.
Yeah, like 45 or hour long stories would be good.
Yeah.
Just like the built in
Oh,
the
that's
Dark
it.
Eyes, it would be work.
I also think, as I said before, I think they should maybe start off a series of box sets with the 8th Doctor, then Night of the Doctor, then carry on the series with more
I
box
think
sets.
that's only if they get the New Who license. I think the War Doctor comes under New Who.
Yeah, it's a shame
Yeah.
though, because I think it'd be good. And if the War Doctor did get his own series, I would class him as the Doctor. If at once I'd listen to it, because yeah.
I've just found another question on the after refreshing the page from Louis Murphy, if that's how you pronounce it, Louis. If you have time to answer another question for me, what is your favourite box set except Dark Eyes? As everyone knows, that would obviously be the best.
Oh,
Thank you, Louis, for watching.
that's a good question.
Can I go first?
What's your
You're the host? Of course you can go first.
hostess for the most?
I'm a woman. Anyway, I would say Philip box. That's a great box set.
What was that?
So- I didn't hear that.
The Philip Hinchcliffe box set, because it goes back
Oh,
to
Philip
the
Hinchcliffe.
Oh, no,
Anyone else?
I'd have to say for me, it would have to be Unit Dominion, which is epic in every sense of the word.
Oh, don't taunt me, Kai. Don't taunt me.
Well, because you haven't listened to it. Kai's angry at you about
He
that.
hasn't even listened to the Klein trilogy yet. Come on, you've got
Oh, Ben!
I
So
mean,
you
I
like
can do it.
Give me chance, okay?
You should just get rid of everything else in your life just to listen to the Klein trilogy.
All right. Okay, I'll do that.
Yep.
I'd have to go 5th Doctor box set.
Well, yeah, I agree with Ben, to be honest. The Philip Hinchcliffe box set, both those stories are brilliant. Ghosts is a fantastic story, but Devil's Armada was surprisingly much better. I didn't know that story would be as good as it seemed, so good, that was a good audio. Probably my favourite 4th Doctor adventure, along with Destroy the Infinite. Yeah, Philip Hinchcliffe box set, Louis.
I want to get that at one point, but price at the moment is a bit high. I'll probably get it in
Yeah.
that bundle with the 4th.
I've seen some people have been, not wanting it because of the price is quite high, but on Amazon I have seen it sold for quite cheap.
Yeah, I got it
Cheaper.
for quid on Amazon.
Has everyone answered? Because there's another question.
Oh gosh, let's get
Yeah, because I don't know when to move on or not.
J. Arkham Reviews asked another question. I've started listening to Zagreus. Is it still confusing when you've listened to Neverland? Now, if you went straight into Zagreus, that is unfortunately a very, very bad move. That is.
Very bad.
You shouldn't. No one should do that. Warning: don't go straight into Zagreus just because it's a multi-doctor story. You will be completely lost.
Yep. Yeah, Kai's absolutely right. Neverland really does help with the back story of all Zagreus. You can't just go Zagreus like straight away. You just can't do that. You hate it. You'll probably get a headache from Zagreus. So yeah, get Neverland first.
And preferably listen to the other McGann audios prior to that. no, don't
Yeah.
go straight into Zagreus. You will not be
Because
happy.
I have seen a lot of reviews on Zagreus, but when they, reviewed it, they haven't listened to the previous Eighth Doctor adventures, and I've always said that they hate Zagreus, but no, it's actually a really good audio if you listen to the
I
previous ones.
I would sort of say from season of fear, when the sort of Zagreus thing sort of happens, listen from there to
Well, I haven't
Neverland on.
listened to Seasons of
Well,
Fear.
I'd have to say you need to listen to Storm Warning because that kind of ties into Charlie's arc, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Our story plot.
Seasons of Fear, I think, is where it sort of starts to get into the Zagreus land. But
That's what
Neverland,
that's what first mentions Zagreus as a concept.
the ending has.
That's wonderful.
All right.
But I
Yeah.
just go for Neverland because Neverland's a pretty good story.
Carl, you could be the question guy now.
Oh, I don't know if you have any more questions. Hang on.
Just refresh.
There's another one from CyberLead 1010, if that's how you say it. I don't know if it's 1010. Thank you for watching. Also, as an add-on to that, do you think the third Doctor box set, number 2, as there was a number 1 on the fifth Doctor one, do you think there will be more Doctor box sets? So that's with the idea that the third Doctor companion the third Doctor box set is following on from the fifth Doctor box set with Psychodrop. Do you think there'll be more Doctor box sets?
Well, I would like them to do more Fifth Doctor box set releases, yeah, because that number 1 does intrigue me that there'll be a second release as well. And I went to a convention, Cardiff, and I asked Sylvester McCoy a question: where will there be any more Bernice Summerfield releases? Because it has a number. No, actually, no, it doesn't have a number 1 on that one. But I just asked anyway, and he said there might well be anyway. So it makes me to think that they will do more releases. And back to point for the Fifth Doctor box set. Well, I think they're putting that number 1 there for a reason, I guess. So I think they will, because there isn't a number 1 on some of the box sets, but others there is. So why not? I would say, why not?
I think Matthew Waterhouse has kind of confirmed it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, Cyber Leader. I know you're a fan of the Fifth Doctor box set, and I think there will be more. Well, definitely a second release. I don't see why not.
and as to what you said, Tom, I think Big Finish have confirmed there's going to be a second New Adventures of Bernie Summerfield box set, not on the news page, but from the podcast.
Yeah, that's what I asked Sylvester. Yeah.
I think for the third Doctor, I think that's the most definite, or else they wouldn't have employed that Tim trailer, I think it is, because you need to do the third Doctor voice, and it seems a bit pointless not hiring him to do more. So I think the third Doctor is definitely going to be an ongoing series like that, guys, hopefully.
Any more questions?
Go on to the next question now.
I'm surprised how popular we are. Like I said, we're not used to this on the Whovian High Council.
No, this is rather more new.
How much is the New Adventures of Bernice Summerfield usually?
I'm gonna have to check. I cannot think of that at the top of my head.
Because as I've just put a couple of links in a couple of Facebook chats, and if anybody's interested, I'll put the links in the video description. I've talked about this on an eBay thing. There's a company called Speedy Ham.
Oh, I get it. I used to get him when I used to get my Big Finishes on eBay.
And they sell new Big Finish at dead cheap prices. And I only just found out they have an Amazon account, and they sell Zygon Hunt, for instance, for £5 new, and other great audios, new audios especially, for like dead cheap prices. So I'd recommend go there if you want cheap Big Finish. I've just seen they're selling the New Adventures of Bernice Summerfield for £24. So.
Hmm.
I think it's 35 on bigfinish.com.
Oh, it's actually 40 now.
Oh.
That New Adventures has gone up price. I just checked.
The pre-order price is cheaper, and then after the month,
Yeah, that's what it is with Dark Eyes. It's pre-order is like £20, but then after that it goes straight to 40.
I mean, in 2012, I got Dark Eyes, the first box set, Unit Dominion, 2 Sixth Doctor and Jago Lightning stories, and Love and War, and that was for about £65.
And that's really good for
So
all
doing a
those
special
stories
one.
in that bundle. Yeah, and that's yeah. That's a good bundle.
Just looking at the comments, it's not a question, but it's a comment from Pitch Skull Black. Agreed, The Grace is one heck of a mind screw up without Neverland.
Oh, yeah.
Neverland is a
Yeah.
great audio. Neverland is a great audio, and in my opinion, has one of the best continuity references ever in my mind at the start of it. But anyway, hello.
Hello.
Hello, Pitch Skull Black.
Hello,
Hello.
joining.
Yeah, it's absolutely a mind screw up. Yeah, just to point out again, don't listen to Zagreus without Neverland.
But you can listen to The Light at the End.
But yeah, Light at the End, of course. Again, brilliant start.
Oh yeah, and that place is selling Dark Eyes for £24 as well.
I think that's cheaper on Big Finish. I think it's 20 quid on Big Finish, Dark Eyes 4.
Yes, it is.
Did you mean the original Dark Eyes and then
Yeah,
4 is in the
all
price?
the,
Or did you say?
they're selling every Dark Eyes for 24 quid.
Ah, I
That's
see.
good. Yeah, that's good. For the first 3 now, because they've bumped the price up.
I've got another comment, but it's not a question. It's from Utardis. He says, my first Big Finish was the Cyberman audio number 2 and 4. Both of them are good. I purchased Terra Firma and I was blown away and fell in love with the 8th Doctor. Managed to purchase both Invaders from Mars and Embrace of Darkness for 5 quid at Forbidden Planet. Zagreus was also there for 5 quid. Loving the chat. Thank you, Utardis.
Thank you. I don't
Thank you
like
very much.
I don't like Terra Firma.
No, Ben doesn't like that story.
It's not one of my favourites.
What is it really? Is it? The only thing I find wrong with Terra Firma, I find the characters rather dull.
I don't like that weird sort of party woman. The sort of upper.
Oh, you mean the mum?
Yeah, I don't like
That
her.
was a bit weird.
A bit of an odd audio, but I like it. Because I love Joseph Lidster. Because he is amazing.
Did you like Sorry, go ahead, Kai.
Just saying, if you couldn't guess, Joseph Lidster wrote Master, among other best audios of Big Finish. So,
Yeah, but did you like where the Eighth Doctor confronted Davros and all that?
Oh yeah, I like that. That was very dark.
I thought it was a bit like the Name of the Doctor, with Davros sort of turning the sort of losses of the Doctor into sort of victories for him, in a way. But I find the pacing of Terra Firma a bit draggy. I can't really connect with it. I think it's quite a confusing story, but later on it sort of makes sense. But I don't think it's that satisfying.
Yeah.
Can't find any more new questions. Feel free to keep asking questions if you want. Oh yeah, there's someone here. Yeah, someone here called the Bonnie asked who likes chips.
Who doesn't? What does anyone like chips?
Oh, I love chips. Chips are great.
Yeah.
Is that a Big Finish audio?
Oh, I was just talking about the potato product.
Do you like chips? So I think that's a new Big Finish coming out. I think.
The new spin-off
Is that
series.
like
Chips.
Chips the Dalek.
Oh, the Crinitane chips. Yeah, that'd be a good.
Oh
one.
yeah, the Crinitane would be in that audio. That'd be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Chips of Revenge. Anyone else want to ask a question or just want to comment down in the section? We'll read it if you want.
Well, I'm just scanning.
Or if you want us to cover more Big Finish stuff.
If anyone want to ask anything else, you can feel free to do it.
Or just make a comment if you want.
Have we asked favourite Big Finish story yet? Or top 3?
You mean
Well,
of all?
unfortunately, I can't answer that. I will spoil a future video. Can't say that question.
So you
But
mean
I
of
think
all
everyone
the-
else can.
You mean of all ranges of all time?
We'll do ranges
Yeah.
because then that doesn't sort of spoil TJ then.
Hmm.
So
So
top
what
3
range are you looking into? Like monthly range or something?
Yeah, just pick your top 3 ranges. What you like.
Oh, top three ranges. All right, that'd be a bit better.
Yeah.
That will. Well, I would say the Fourth Doctor adventures, because I cling to them so well, and the Fourth Doctor has become much more enthusiastic in the orgies. When I listened to season 3, my first one was the King of Sontar, and he was brilliant. He was. He still acts like Tom Baker as the Doctor. Of course, or the Fourth Doctor, absolutely brilliantly. I love them all the way through. Of course, there's some downhill ones a little bit like
Zygon
White
Hunt.
Ghosts. A
I thought
Zygon
this was-
Hunt I don't like, but sorry, Ben. Ben
Yeah.
likes that one.
I find
And,
it okay.
I've heard a lot.
and The Abandon, which gave me a ginormous headache. That didn't work for me.
Exactly.
With
That
the
was my
screaming
least
in my head,
favourite.
that hurt my head. Second range, Lost Stories. I said this before. They bring back stories which were too ambitious for the time, which never got happened. If they were delayed, but no, sorry, if they were cancelled or by hiatuses, or change of scripts. Like Laws of the Red Planet was changed scripts with Seeds of Death, that for example. And I have to say my favourite is Dark Eyes. I think mostly everyone's here is Dark Eyes range. Eighth Doctor's fantastic in it. Some great enemies in that one, a great storyline, great writers in it as well. Matt Fitter did fantastic with the third series,
Yeah.
and it's going to be interesting seeing John Dorney in writing Dark Eyes 4, or a little bit of it. So that'll be pretty interesting.
Go, John Dawn. You can't stress
Yeah.
enough. Get
Oh,
Dark
we
Eyes.
forgot to say something, Ben.
Oh yeah, favourite
British
writers.
writers.
Oh,
Let's go and do favourite writers, but while they sort of do comment, questions.
your top
Yeah.
3 of this favourite.
I do like Mark Platt. I think he's a lot better than he was in Ghostlight. John Dorney, as Tom says, is the Big Finish Robert Holmes.
Yes.
Nicholas Briggs, he's great because of Dark Eyes and Destroy the Infinite, but it depends how you catch Nicholas Briggs. Some stories are a bit on the fence, but
The evil
others
one.
it's just stand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
he's had
anybody
some
else?
ups and downs.
Just focusing on the Fourth Doctor Series 3, he wrote 3 stories for that. 2 of them I'm not too keen on, but the third, Destroy the Infinite, is my absolute favourite. That one's just amazing. So he definitely does have ups and downs, I feel.
Anybody else want to do their writers, their favourite writers?
I'll say. I'll just do 3 really good ones. Rob Shearman.
Oh, of course, Rob Shearman.
Yeah.
Consistently writes the best Doctor Who stories for Big Finish. John Dorning, as we've mentioned before, he's just marvelous. You know, he always hits the mark. You know, King of Sontar, Crooked Man, stuff like that. Ned Fountain, he's like an unsung hero of Big Finish. He's absolutely brilliant. Gets that good mixture of comic and serious stories. I mean, Perry and the Piscon Paradox is a masterpiece, essentially. And you've got the Widow's Assassin, haven't you, Tom?
Oh, am I next?
No, I'm just saying you've got the Widow's Assassin by Ned Fountain.
Oh yeah. Ned Fountain is he's very strong on his characters. I've seen by Ned Fountain as well. Yeah, he's a new writer to me, but he's already striked gold so far.
And obviously I've got to mention Joseph Lister, who is amazing, as I've said before.
Mark Wright and Kevin Scott, who wrote Masters of Earth, they're very good, I feel.
And the Project trilogy.
Oh.
How could I lose? Gosh,
Yeah, Kevin Scott and Mark Wright.
Oh,
Fantastic
brilliant.
writers.
Brilliant writers. They write for Blake Seven and they do some really good stuff for them as well.
Yeah. Will I go? Anyone else want to go? Before I go?
Yeah, go on, TJ.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, go for my writers. Yeah, John Dorney. I call him the Robert Holmes of Big Finish. I haven't had a single story from him which is bad. Justice of Joustar was pure gold in my opinion. His Fourth Doctor Adventures have been pure gold for me as well. And yeah, haven't seen a single bad story by him. So if you see a story written by John Dorney, I can say to you right away that will be a fantastic story because he's such a good writer, absolutely. Yeah, Nicholas Briggs, he's an also very good writer as well. He handled the whole of Dark Eyes, and that's been said to be one of the best releases of Big Finish of all time. But with Nicholas Briggs, sometimes he has his ups and downs. But when he does do a good story, it really works really well. And a writer no one said yet is Jonathan Morris. He's also a writer
Oh, yeah.
who I really love.
Is he right?
He's written the Iterations of I. That was it. That was a
Oh, that's right.
fantastic story. And his monthly range is The Curse of Davros, one of my favourite stories from Big Finish that's been produced so far. It's such a good story. And yeah, they're my three writers which I live on Big Finish so far. That was in no order.
We have a new question.
Oh, do we?
Oh,
It's from Arkham Asylum. What do you think of Peter Capaldi in Series 8? He's asked two questions, but that's the first one anyway.
Alright, we'll do the first one.
What do
Oh,
people
I'll
think
start
of
first
Peter?
then. Yeah, Peter Capaldi, when he just did Deep Breath, he just shined on me straight away. I love Deep Breath in that story. It's like a 9 out of 10 for me. He was just absolutely brilliant. And even though that Series 8 has some good ones and bad ones, like Kill the Moon and In the Course of the Night, which I don't
Glad
like
that,
still.
you'd be glad that Kai wasn't there when
Yeah,
you said
Kai's
Kill
gone
the Moon.
away. He loves Kill the Moon too much. And yeah, even though it's a bad story, I can still see Peter Capaldi just doing his best ever, and he's my favourite New Who Doctor.
same.
Smith is my favourite, followed by Capaldi.
You want to go next about Peter Capaldi?
I'll go next if no one else minds.
Yeah, go for it. Feel free.
Well, I'd say he's a very good Doctor. I like that he's brought back some darkness into the role that was kind of lost with Matt Smith and David Tennant. It was there with Christopher Eccleston though, but Peter Capaldi's stories, they've had their ups and downs. My personal favourite is Mummy on the Orient Express. I think that's an amazing story, and he really does shine through in that one. So yeah.
Ben, did you say?
I haven't said yet.
Oh, go ahead.
Capaldi is a bit of a slow Doctor for me. It took a bit of time for me to warm to him. But by Mummy on the Orient Express, I was in love with his character. But for me, his sort of defining moment, I called him the Doctor, was I suppose, at the end scene when he's sort of, I don't know. I suppose when he confronts the half-faced man in the restaurant, offering them a drink, where I thought, yeah, Capaldi's gonna be an interesting Doctor.
Yeah.
But Mummy on the Orient Express is my favourite of Series 8, definitely.
For me, can I go next, I guess, as everybody else said?
Yeah, sure.
It took me a bit of time to sort of get used to Capaldi. I'd say it was probably actually Death in Heaven, where when he was, obviously the Master did something to the plane, and he was falling through the skies, and the TARDIS was there, and it's kind of epic. And I think that just that sort of end part of Death in Heaven was sort of when I said, yeah, he's the Doctor, especially in that last quote when he was sort of, in a way, finishing off the Master. But I don't know, he hasn't clicked for me yet. He hasn't had a defining moment where I've sort of been, yeah, he's a really, really, really good Doctor. I don't think he's hit that spot yet. I think over the next couple of series, I think he needs to change his character a bit. Because I'd say Sylvester McCoy, for instance, he started out quite jolly, and I'd say by season 26 he did start to become a little bit darker. So he had that costume change, and I'd say the same with Tom Baker. He was quite funny at the start, and then towards the end of his era, he sort of darkened down a bit. I think Capaldi should maybe go the opposite direction and sort
Yeah,
of
that was a really good point, actually.
at the end sort of change in his character, because I think throughout if we are talking, oh, he's going to be a Doctor for like 5 or 6 years, it's going to get really boring having him with the same dark character as he is now. I even kind of got a bit bored of his character along Series 8 because he didn't really have he didn't sort of lighten up, and the scenes where he did were probably the best scenes, where he sort of had a complete personality change.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Ah.
think he's got potential to be, up there. For me personally, he might already be one of your favourites, but I have to see really.
Even though he is my favourite, that is still a really good point which I consider. Yeah.
Do you
Oh,
think?
Sorry. Go right
So
ahead,
we
Ben.
finish Arkham's question. Well, last question, and then we'll go on to the other question if there are any. What do you want to see in the 10th anniversary of New Who? Has it been confirmed that we're getting a special?
Well,
Because there's
Well,
it's one about the Magician's Apprentice for Easter, or whatever that was
Yeah.
about.
yeah.
I don't think we're getting a special. I don't think we're going to do anything to commemorate it, honestly. I think it's just going to be another normal series, but maybe they could prove me wrong.
I think Stephen Moffat has confirmed that they're not doing anything. I think he said because it's so soon after the 50th, they don't really want to do any other big
Yeah.
celebrations just yet.
No, I don't think they won't bother with
Might
anything.
get a little thing, might get a little thing, a little nod to the past or something, but I don't get anything substantially big.
what I'd like to see is not necessarily an episode, but maybe a little documentary by Russell T Davies. I know it's not likely to happen, but even if it's only like a half an hour thing, where just sort of see what Russell thinks of like the 50th and what he thinks how Stephen Moffat's handled the show, because he hasn't really put his views across in that way, and I'd like to see what he thinks of how the show has sort of progressed since he left as well, and also a little bit more about where he thought the show would be by now if he carried on, and what differences he'd take for the show if he stayed on for Matt Smith.
It might be interesting, but I don't think he'd openly say, "Oh, I wouldn't have done this" or "I wouldn't have done that." I think
No.
I don't think he'd like to impose his thing on it because honestly, I don't think he'd be proprietary about Doctor Who because he wasn't the first one to run Doctor Who himself. So I don't think he'd try and impose it upon him. Plus, he's a classic fan, so he knows that different people keep coming in and doing different things. So I don't think he'd say, "Oh, I wouldn't have done that for the 50th," or "I don't really like the way they went through there."
I don't think the BBC would let him either.
No,
No, I mean,
I would
I
like a
wouldn't say
documentary type thing with him talking about Doctor Who. I wouldn't mind that. It'd be quite interesting.
I was just not what he'd do. Say he doesn't like the decisions Stephen Moffat made. I just mean what would he make Matt Smith's character be, and would he make his
That's
character?
imposing his opinions on the years that he never had anything to contribute to. Again, it's imposing his thoughts on that, and I don't think he'd do that because it's not his show anymore.
Yeah, I agree with Kai.
But two things about Russell T Davies. Have you been listening to the Who's Round podcasts from Big Finish?
Yeah.
Well, they're currently there's 4 parts to the interview with Russell T Davies, which is quite interesting. It's talking about his years at working with Doctor Who. And has anyone got the special edition of The Visitation on DVD?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
No.
There's a documentary on that talking about Big Finish, and Russell T Davies talks about what he thinks of Big Finish and how he stayed with Big Finish. So that's one of the only reasons I got The Visitation on DVD to watch that.
That's probably what I'll get it for.
It is.
Apparently,
It is a good story.
Dave Big Finish or something like that.
You did, yeah. But I'm not going to tell you how because you're going to buy the DVD.
Mm.
I would say Day of the Doctor is more of a 10th anniversary special than the 50th.
I'd agree.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, it's more.
Mm.
It didn't the 50th the Day of the Dog didn't feel like a true 50th story to me, and some people can agree right here that it isn't. But yeah, probably my 50th most of all was Light of the End, of course, and the An Adventure of Space and Time.
Yeah.
I would say
Oh.
that the Doctor is sort of a combination between, the 50th and the 10th anniversary, so it's sort of a combined anniversary sort of
Yeah.
special.
Condensed into one entertaining one.
I feel the most celebratory, anniversary special would be the Five Doctors, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
Absolutely.
the 10th anniversary one, the Three Doctors, that was okay, but it didn't really feel as celebratory as the Five Doctors did.
Let's see if
I
we've got any
suppose
more
it's
questions.
yeah.
What
No,
do you
go on,
want?
Taylor.
I suppose it's because they didn't include companions in the Three Doctors. It was just a multi-Doctor story, whereas in
Yeah.
the Five Doctors, they literally put tons of monsters. All the Doctors, obviously, some of the companions, they obviously chucked everything in. I think that's why it's stronger. And I think Three Doctors was obviously just had Doctors, but I personally think possibly the Three Doctors is better than Five Doctors. It's I think the Three Doctors is quite a Marmite story. I've heard some people hate it.
Yeah, but it's the thing is to realise they make multi-Doctor stories just for some fun and entertainment. They don't really make
Yeah.
the story serious.
It's for fan's sake,
Yeah.
really, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
I love that story. I think it's great.
I like the Three Doctors as well.
I like all the multi-Doctor stories. They're just something just fun to watch, pretty much. Just nothing to take serious.
The Three Doctors is probably my favourite multi-Doctor episode.
Yeah.
Maybe because of John Pertwee, I don't know.
Probably because like the Day of the Doctor, it's not too reliant on the fact there are multiple Doctors. I mean, the Five Doctors' entire plot is just to get all the Doctors together. But the
Yeah.
Three Doctors, there is actually a plot in it, justifying why there are two and kind of three Doctors in it. And if you're interested, Omega, played by Stephen Thorne, will be in Gallifrey Intervention later this year.
Yeah.
Right, we've got a new question from Adam the Ultimate Whovian. Do you think the stories from the planned season 22 of Doctor Who could have worked on TV, or do you think the audios do it justice or not?
I didn't hear that. Sorry.
No.
The question's from Adam the Ultimate Whovian. Do you think the stories from the planned season 22 of Doctor Who would have worked on TV, or do you think the audios do them justice?
Oh right, yeah.
Isn't that 23 actually?
22 and 23. It's sort of both, especially with the.
Oh, I know what he means. Yeah, I know what he means. Well, to be honest, I think some of them do. If you look like the Nightmare Fair, for example, I think that would have been one to work on TV very, very well. It's nice to see the Celestial Toymaker back on TV as well, because his original story, the Celestial Toymaker, only episode 4 exists, and the rest lost in the BBC archives. Be lovely to have the Thing recovered. A couple of them do sound a little bit ambitious for the time.
Leviathan.
Back in that time, Leviathan doesn't really sound like a story I would see for a TV story.
I mean, Leviathan was built because it was too ambitious. That's
Yeah,
the reason for it.
Yeah, Leviathan.
there's too much things going around there which didn't make it good as a TV story.
Probably Song of the Star, and probably Song of the Megoptera, or was it Megoptera? Was Song of the Star, Space Whale. That sounded a bit too ambitious.
Oh, the Son of I can't pronounce that last word. It's the Son of something. I know what you mean.
Song of the Megaptera.
Yeah, the Son of Megatron. The one with the flying space whales.
It was set in a whale, so I assume it would have been a bit difficult to film. So yeah,
That sounded really ambitious.
I think it's good because Big Finish can do that.
I've got the story. It sounds good, but if they actually did that, the effects for the flying space whales probably wouldn't look any good.
I would say the fourth story, The Valley of Death, wouldn't have worked for a TV budget, because I think that is such a huge scale story. It wouldn't work, and so with Foe from the Future as well, because it
is Indiana Jones, but on a Doctor Who budget, essentially.
Yeah, literally it is. Yeah.
Where was that placed? The Valley of Death.
I think it was the Amazon, from what I can remember. I just read it.
Because I don't know.
Just
Amazon Rainforest.
Yeah, Amazon Rainforest. That's what it's.
Oh right. Oh yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
Just looked on Facebook. Adam's also asked a caveat to that question. Can you discuss the season 27 that was aborted and has it's been adapted to Big Finish?
So,
So
yeah.
Finn, I
Oh, anyone go first?
I haven't got it.
I've got the first three. I haven't got yeah.
I've only got one. Yeah.
Thin Ice is a little cracker. It sort of leads into Crime of a Century in a way with sort of the build-up of the new companion. But if you like the Ice Warriors like me, you'll know that they might have a soft spot for fish fingers. That's a nice little moment in Thin Ice. Crime of a Century is probably the best one I've listened to so
Really?
far. Yeah, that is very ambitious, especially for
Yeah,
Ace's
yeah.
character. But Animal is quite ambitious with this sort of.
I've heard that one's
planting.
quite not really good. Animal.
It's a bit of a meh one.
And
But
you haven't got Earth Aid.
I haven't got her favourite. That seems quite an ambitious one with sort
Yeah.
of intergalactic war thing.
I could see the one out of all of them. I could see Thin Ice being one for the TV story. They've changed some things, of course, from the original script, but there was some sort of ice lord in that one, some ice overlord, the one with that helmet where it starts to control some female. It does. I can't remember it too well, but that would have been quite creepy to see on TV. That would.
With the Ice Lord bikers, the Ice Warrior biker things. The helmet.
Yeah, I remember that. The Ice Warrior biker gang.
Because as some of the audience might know, the original intention for Ace was that she'd be sent off to the Time Lord Academy. The Doctor would be training her to become a Time Lord, and then in Thin Ice, as was, she would have been packed off to Gallifrey to get an education there. But obviously, since this is also meant to tie into the Big Finish range, we had to kind of abort that idea. So am I right in saying that the story does still revolve around the Doctor trying to get her into the Gallifreyan Academy, but in the end she doesn't go.
Part three's cliffhanger is about Ace sort of being sent to the academy, if I remember
Yeah.
rightly.
Yeah, that is right.
ah
I remember.
And then she says, "Nah, don't want to do it."
But it isn't like a really big strop about the Doctor doing it, from what I can.
I think so. It's been a while since I've listened to that one.
But what's interesting, I've also heard that Tom, you've got the Benny box set. She goes to the academy in that, doesn't she?
What box set's that?
The Bernie Summerfield Seventh Doctor box
Oh, I
set.
can't remember which one it was because I'm planning to re-listen to it because someone's asked me to review it. But I think there was something happening with Ace in that story. Yeah.
And Gallifrey Intervention Earth features Ace on Gallifrey, having been educated by the Time Lords. So it kind of all comes together really. The kind of seeing the fruition of that Ace storyline.
yeah.
Except only a bit later because Big Finish had already established she was travelling with the Doctor. So it still happened. It still happens just later from Ace's perspective. So I'm glad they still do that. You know.
Oh, and Arkham Asylum says he's enjoying the hangout. Thank you very much.
We've got a
you.
question from Herdex. What do you think is the best Eighth Doctor Adventure series?
Season 4.
Apparently, it does go. Season 2 is better than 1. Season 3 is better than 2, and then
Well,
Season 4
yeah.
is superior.
It's the best, and then Dark Eyes comes after that as well.
Yeah. The thing is with the Eighth Doctor adventures, it gets better as it goes along. Because in season 1, yeah, Blood of the Daleks is a cracking one, but some of those are quite weak. Actually, I do like Horror of Glam Rock. Actually, after a third listen.
Yeah, you said that was a bad one at the start.
Yeah, with Horror of Glam Rock, my first listening to it, I actually hated it.
Didn't you say you hated the way there was a guitar strum?
Yeah, I didn't like the music in it, the music theme.
I like the music. I like the music.
Yeah, I like it now. It's good. And yeah, with the Eighth Doctor Adventures, yeah, it gets better as it goes along. Season 4 is probably the best one. It has more darker stories in that. And then Dark Eyes just, takes a lot away. But yeah, there's some good stories in each of the seasons.
I said the Eighth Doctor Adventures is like a wine. It gets better. It gets better as it progresses.
Yeah.
It's better with age, yeah.
Yeah, it gets better with age.
So it's more of a table wine at the time of the second series.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
If
gets
anyone
better.
gets that City of Death reference.
Yeah. Very good. Anyone else want to comment on that question? No.
You're done with that.
Yeah.
I know I brought this up on the discussion at the side of this, but What about the question of what was the best ranges from Big Finish? We didn't really kind of continue with that, did we?
Sorry, who answered that?
I know you answered that, saying what was the best ranges from Big Finish. I don't think the rest of us did we?
Oh. Yeah, I'll probably go for the Lost Stories or the Fourth Doctor Adventures or Dark Eyes. They're my top ones.
Hmm.
Anyone else?
I'd obviously say Dark Eyes. It's a gold mine full of little.
Oh, yeah, I've got another question from. Oh, sorry, is everyone finished till I get to the next question?
I'll just say, yeah, probably monthly, Eighth Doctor, and it would have to be Fourth Doctor for me. And
Yeah.
things that aren't, and things that are Doctor Who spin-offs. Gallifrey, Jennifer and Lightfoot, Idagos.
Okay, this question's by J. Arkham Reviews again, and he's actually answered quite. I think it's 3 questions here. Would you like to see more of Frobisher? Frobisher, the badass penguin.
Yes, Frobisher, the badass penguin.
Can't beat a shape-shifting badass penguin.
Am I going to be quite controversial and say no?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are, Ben. I was going to say Kai then, but no.
Yeah.
I agree with Kai. Need more Frobisher the penguin.
Yeah. He's a shape-shifting alien detective penguin with an American accent. Come on.
What more can you want from a penguin?
Exactly. He's only had 2 audios, both by Rob Shearman.
Yeah. He's answering a second question. Oh, anyway, I forgot to ask. Anyone else know about Frobisher the penguin? No one. Alright, let's go to the next question. Which Doctor do you think Big Finish did the most justice for? Quite a simple question. Yeah.
Toss up between the 6th Doctor and 8th, but
Yeah, it would be the 6th Doctor and the 6th Doctor and the 8th Doctor. It's the 6th Doctor, you know, he didn't have a good TV reign because a lot of his stories weren't very great, and the 8th Doctor only had the movie.
Yeah, I think the 6th Doctor was redeemed by Big Finish because generally most of the best Doctor Who stories from Big Finish are with the 6th Doctor. And even Smythe contributed to softening his Doctor and making it a bit more likeable. And with the 8th Doctor, as you said, Tom, he hasn't had a reign on TV, and he's got some fantastic stories. As we have been keep saying, he has a great range, and Paul McGann is just used marvellously. I wish he was on telly because we know what he's like on audio, so it would have been great to see what he's like on telly.
Do you want me to move on to his third question, or has anyone finished?
I think everyone's covered, I think.
Alright. I know what Kai's going to answer to this one. Do you listen to any of the other ranges of Big Finish outside of Doctor Who?
Wow. Yes, I listen to quite a lot of it.
Kai's the master of this question.
I think probably because you haven't strayed from Doctor Who yet. Most of you, have you?
No.
Ooh, no.
No,
Except
I've
for Dorian
seen
Gray.
Yeah.
I reckon Dorian Gray. I've just seen an offer, so I might buy it today.
Yeah, this is more of your question, Kai.
Take it away.
It started in 2014. I mean, after the bonanza year of 2013, we got lots of Doctor Who's from Big Finish. And then 2014, I decided to get lots of other stuff because I thought Big Finish are great, but Doctor Who, they might as well be great at other stuff. So yes, Dorian Gray, as we've mentioned numerous times, is absolutely brilliant. So you should get Dorian Gray. It's only like half-hour episodes, but they're really good. Dark Shadows, which was another audio series from Big Finish, is really good as well. It's based on a 1960s American soap opera that's essentially a soap with vampires and werewolves and ghosts and gypsy witches and time travel and parallel universes and warlocks and essentially everything you could want in a soap. And put that into yeah, essentially. But it's much better. So yeah, it's a great range. I'd recommend Dark Shadows. It's really gothic and really supernatural. I think lots of Doctor Who fans would like it generally. And Big Finish have said if Dark Shadows release as a Doctor Who actor in it, it's usually a safe area to go. I mean, I'd recommend The House by the Sea, starring Colin Baker. London's Burning with Louise Jameson. Creeping Fog with Matthew Waterhouse, among others as well. What else is there? What ranges do I have? Blake 7, as I've said, Blake 7's really good. They've recently started the full cast range. The second series is out now. Blake 7's just great. If you haven't got into the TV series Blake 7, get into Blake 7. What else is there? Does anyone else want to say things that they're interested in, and I can say something back about it, because it's just me with
Well, yeah, I'll probably say something. Yeah, Kai actually really interested me in the Dorian Gray series. He corrupted me because he's the Dorian side. Yeah, it was brilliant when I listened to episode 1. Any other ones? I would say Dark Shadows. There's a release with Colin Baker with Dark Shadows. I forgot the name of it.
House by the Sea, yeah.
And that's what Kai just said I am interested in. And the new releases which they're coming up for Dark Shadows for January and February, which is Bloodlust. That sounds pretty interesting. And Big Finish released a trailer on their YouTube channel, which looks pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Anyone else?
Yeah, it's good about Bloodlust because
Yeah.
it's basically a reboot of the series. So if you haven't listened to any Dark Shadows, you can just get that, and it's a good start. But this is where I started with Dark Shadows, The House by the Sea. So I definitely recommend you get that. And he's amazing in it. He is absolutely marvelous in this film. So I recommend that. Anyone else want to chuck stuff at me and I can watch on about it again?
Yeah, because I got a good question here. But anyone else?
I've got 2 questions. Well, there's 2 ranges which aren't Doctor Who, which I kind of want to look at. Obviously, Dorian Gray. I've just seen an offer, so I might buy the box set. There's also, I've been looking at reviews, and apparently Nicholas Briggs is very good at Sherlock. Is that a good...
Yeah, that is. I've delved into that recently as well. Basically, it's Sherlock Holmes range where occasionally they adapt Conan Doyle stories for audio, and occasionally they make their own original stories. And the ones I've delved into are only original stories from them. I'm not really interested in getting adapted versions. But Nick Briggs is really good as Sherlock Holmes, and Richard Ell is really good as Watson. I'd say I started with the Ordeals of Sherlock Holmes box set because it's a good way of just getting into it, because there's 4 Sherlock Holmes stories, and it's just a good way of like testing the water without having to just buy 1 2-hour release and see. We're not really sure about that. Recently, I bought the Tangled Skein, which is a bit more outside of the usual Sherlock Holmes territory, which is Sherlock Holmes meets Dracula, and that's a really thrilling Hammer horror story.
I like the look of that one, actually.
I like the fact that you say it's a lot like Hammer House of Horror.
Really
Chat.
Well, it looks it from the cover.
So I know Owen once said they thought they shouldn't do it because they thought it was a modern adaptation like Sherlock, but I'll specify this is set in like the Victorian period where the original Holmes stories were. So, and plus they're designed to tie into the original Holmes canon. I mean, the recent box set recently called The Judgment of Sherlock Holmes. That's set during the years between 1891 and 94, I believe, where Holmes had supposedly died at Reichenbach Falls. So yeah, from what I've heard, it's a really good range, and Nick Briggs plays Sherlock Holmes really well. And if you're interested in Sherlock Holmes and Big Finish, this is your range, I'd say.
Think that's it?
Oh, do you want me to move on to the next question? This is going to be an interesting one.
Alright, let's go to the next question.
Alright, this is from Hoodix Reviews again, and this is like a versus thing. Big Finish Doctor Who audios or classic Who TV stories? That's made people think.
Oh, Christ.
I'm going to have a think about this one.
I think I've already got it.
Wait. Change it a tiny bit. You have to pick a world where one world is you only have
Oh,
classic
that's a good.
Who,
I like what Taylor's
and
done.
you don't have Big Finish Doctor Who, or
Yeah.
you have a world with no classic Who and just Big Finish Doctor Who.
Well, one can exist without the other. So. Exactly, one can exist without the other. So how?
Well, we'll just do it anyway. Don't think about the extra details.
Who wants to start this off first?
I'm going to say classic Who because of John Pertwee. Because we wouldn't have John Pertwee in Big Finish.
Yeah.
I'd go classic Who because John Pertwee, Patrick Troughton, and William Hartnell.
In terms of Taylor's question, I'd agree classic. I'd give a different answer if it was a slightly different question.
I'd go for classic as well.
Well, as much as I love Big Finish, I have a saying, nothing beats the classics. I have to go with classic TV. Why not? No Patrick Trowen. I can't live without Patrick Trowen. I have to go classic.
No, Power of the Daleks. That'd be a crime.
God, you know, my jaw will drop off if Power of the Daleks is found.
How about this real quick? Live in a world without New Who, or live in a world without Big Finish classics.
Live in a world without New Who.
Yoo-hoo. Sorry. Nothing beats the classic.
I'm probably saying New Who, but I'm not sure if I would know about Big Finish and Classic Who without it.
Oh.
I don't
Well,
know.
I want to say to the original question, Taylor, I think Big Finish build on what the classic series did so well, but also brings in something new that you couldn't really do on screen. Like we said, budgetary constraints affected the TV series. Audio, it's only limited by your imagination. Because I think Big Finish take the positives from New Who and the positives from Classic Who and meld them together really well. So that's why I was a bit more hesitant about that question.
That's a hard question. New Who or Big Finish?
If it was a world without one,
Well,
Classic Who.
well, that's the thing, really. Get all classic Doctors away, or do you want to keep Matt Smith and Series 7?
Oh, Series 7, don't bring this in. Series 7 is a pretty
No, we're
good
not going to
series.
bring Series 7 in this hangout.
Or Series 6, even though that's worse, but no, we're not going to go into that.
So, this would be the true question. Big Finish or Matt Smith?
Big Finish.
Finish.
Yes.
Big Finish.
Series 7.
I'm sorry, Matt, I love you, Matt, but Big Finish.
Matt Smith.
Big Finish.
There.
Sorry.
This is hard.
Matt Smith himself, good doctor. His stories, however,
Yeah. I think most of them are good.
Yeah.
Imagine if he had the Big Finish standard of stories. That would just be.
Well, if he did have the Big Finish standard of stories, then yeah, that would have been a lot better. Get like John Dorney in there to write some stories.
I wish the new series writers could get some Big Finish writers in write for the new series. I mean, get Nick Briggs to write a story. I mean, Russell T Davies
Yeah.
said himself he regretted not getting Nick Briggs to write a story.
another reason to get the Visitation revisited. 'Cause that's where he said that.
Exactly. So yeah.
I think Nick Briggs would do good at writing a Dalek story for New Who.
Oh yeah, he did. Dark Eye's good.
Much
Dark
better than Moffat.
Fantastic book.
What- Oh yeah.
That was. I've got to say that's probably my favourite Matt Smith book.
What was?
The Dalek Generation. It's a Series 7 sort of style book, but it's fantastic.
I didn't get it because I was worried if it would be a stereotypical Dalek story.
Well, the thing about that, it kind of ties into Big Finish in a way, doesn't it? Because it's got spoilers, the Dalek time controller, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Ben?
it does. So that's one reason to get it, because of the Dalek time controller.
Who is
Oh, the badass Dalek around. You just cannot beat the time controller.
and he's coming back in Dark Eyes 4.
Yes. This is oh, I've lost the question now. This would be a good question for you, Ben, if we're finished.
Okay.
Are you going to be doing a hangout for the 10 years of New Who? Or 10-year anniversary of New Who? Will you be doing a hangout then?
Is this directly for me?
Well, it could be to all of us, really, because he hasn't said it directly to you, but you're the host, that's why it's more you.
If people want to see a 10-year anniversary hangout, then comment down below and say, yeah, I want to see it. And
Yeah. That was from Doctor Who guy. If you wanna see us do it, then fair enough. Just put it
To
in
be
the
honest,
comments.
that's sort of the time we scheduled it, isn't it? March, around that time. It's 10
Yeah,
years.
it's 3 months' time. It's January now. The next one will be in 3 months. Why not do it on the 10th year anniversary?
I suppose we could sort of do a mini review of Rose and like how it's changed, our perception of it's changed from 2005 to 2015. Yeah, why not? We might as well do it.
Yeah, I swear.
Yeah.
Or we could do it
For the
as our favourite episodes of New Who.
Yeah, that'll be good.
And then chuck in a couple of bits about what Big Finish we've got in those 3
Oh yeah,
months.
because we're a big Finnish team, so why not?
This is Big Finish fans.
This is big Finnish fans, not New Who
Yeah.
fans.
But we can
Well,
do
We can throw New Who in. Why not?
New Who fangirls.
I mean, obviously we're going to talk about other stuff apart from Big Finish, but
Oh
both
yeah.
advertise it as a Who Did My Council. Have you advertised Who Did My Council, which is great.
Yeah.
We do that at the end, I suppose. Put like links below to all
I'm
that
going
sort
to
of
talk to
jazz.
Matthew about that, actually. It's his thing, isn't it? Who Did My Council.
He wouldn't mind it. He likes promoting it, so let's promote it.
Because we wouldn't be here without his hangouts, would we?
No, he wouldn't. It's all thanks to him for asking us to be on them. Really.
So go and watch the Who Did My Council on Star Mondas Productions. It's great.
Especially
Yeah, he's just as organised. He's like the pro of hangouts.
Yeah.
We don't know
Yeah.
how he gets his. We just don't know how he gets all this. How good his hangouts are. They are brilliant. So I definitely check out
Time
Scott
Heist.
Mondas Productions hangouts.
Watch the Time Heist one for the best
Oh
comedy.
no! Viewer discretion advised, Ben.
Oh gosh.
You don't have to get worm wranglers in this.
Has he taken down In the Forest of the Night, actually?
Yeah,
has
but
put
if,
down
if
In
you
the
want
Forest
to
of the
see
Night.
the best part of In the Forest of the Night, watch my latest video because you can see a little sneak peek
Oh,
of
do
it
you know?
there.
No wonder he took it down. 'Cause it's just this most viewed one. He's probably embarrassed about that. Poor Matthew.
I think
Let's
that's
just say Infomaniac is the king of the pigs.
He is the year of the pig, to quote Big Finish.
all very good there.
Very good. Very
We've
good.
got to put a link to Star Mondas and the Who Did My Council down there.
Yeah.
Because we really want
Yeah, because he's a friend of ours, so why not?
Well, Steve won't be here without him, so it's thank you, Matthew, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're credit to the force, Matthew.
I think he's got about 3 or 4 audio Big Finish now, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's got the Holy Terror, the one with Frobisher the
Yeah, I think
Badass
he's got
Penguin.
the Holy Terror, Grand Theft Cosmos, and Light at the End, I think.
Well, yeah, he said he really liked Light to the End.
Of course he did.
Who doesn't hate? Who hates Light to the End?
You hate Light at the End, we will hunt you down.
Yeah, we will hunt you down if you hate Light to the End.
We'll get the thief to hunt you down. That's what we'll do.
Have you got any more questions?
Yeah, I've spotted 2 more again. This one's from Who TARDIS.
Oh yeah, we're going to be here all evening.
It goes to Paul McGann.
The ghost.
Do you think Paul McGann is an underrated Doctor due to the fact that he only had the movie? And do you think some people seem to forget the big finishes?
I don't really think that applies after Night of the Doctor, because I think that definitely kind of brought a spike into the Eighth Doctor range. I think that's taken as fact now, because of all the reference to the companions, and plus people want to see more McGann. I think that definitely helped with Big Finish a lot. But I do think he's underrated by the majority of the fandom who don't know about Big Finish. And if you want to hear from the amazing Paul McGann, you've got to go to Big Finish, because he is my favourite Doctor personally, because of Big Finish.
There's a round of applause, Kai.
He's in my top 5.
Fair enough.
Colin Baker.
I think he's my 3rd favourite Doctor.
If he's
I
in your
struggle
top
to rank
five,
that, to be honest.
You probably need to get more audios from him.
He's my 4th favourite, and 4's my lucky number, so I suppose that's...
So if he's in your top 10 at all, that is amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing if he is in your top 10. Yeah, it's sad to see him underrated because, when Night of the Doctor thing came out, he wasn't really a well-known Doctor, but as releases like Dark Eyes came out, loads of people were talking about it, and he sort of shot up a little bit. And then, when Night of the Doctor came out, people found out that he actually had a storyline going on, and then more people found out his Doctor. I know it's quite sad to me that some lists the Eighth Doctor is usually last place was Colin Baker, and Paul McGann's the other way, higher than Colin Baker. Sad to always see him on the bottom of the list, but it's good that people are giving Paul McGann a chance, giving him an audio, and it's nice to see he's boosted up, because he's definitely boosted up for me when I've listened to Dark Eyes, and he definitely will for you if you listen to Dark Eyes.
I mean, I don't think you've mentioned it, but Dark Eyes won a BBC Audio Award. Was that good? Did we mention that? Dark Eyes won a BBC Audio Award, and that kind of brought a bit more attention towards him in the radio community.
On the
I've got to say,
official...
Big.
You
Yeah, go on,
first.
Luke. All right,
Oh.
I've got to say, Big Finish have definitely grown in popularity because
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
went to an experience just recently, and they were selling Big Finish, and that to me is a clear indication that Big Finish has grown in popularity. And if you look on the website, most of the audios are coming out of print because of the wonderful work what they're doing.
Oh yeah, they're selling out.
The demand, that's why they're selling it. I think the 50th and the Night of the Doctor in general kind of boosted Big Finish's popularity. And I think that's probably one of the best aspects of the 50th. Because of that, because the Light of the End came to the attention of more people, and through the Night of the Doctor, the Eighth Doctor range. So I think that's probably the best thing about the 50th anniversary for me. The Big Finish have got more recognition because they deserve it, because they're absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Mm.
Do you want me to read this out loud? I think this is the last question. I'm not sure because I haven't refreshed the page.
We'll do a quick refresh.
I bet we'll see another 10 questions.
Probably. This one's from Lewis Murphy again. He's just saying some of the big finishes he got, and he's just going to show to us if they are any good. So he's spending money on his birthday for big finish. He's getting loads of big finishes, of course, so that's a good sign. He's getting the Tom Baker release, The English Way of Death, and The Romance of Crime. That's in a maybe. The Fifth Doctor box set, the Second Doctor Lost Stories box set, and the Fourth Doctor Lost Stories box set. That's what he's getting. And yeah, I think they're all pretty good releases. They are, especially the Fourth Doctor Lost Stories box set. That's pretty good, and the Fifth Doctor as well.
Yeah,
Jimmy,
Fifth Doctor box set's very good.
And plus the Second Doctor box set's got a sort of story what wasn't, well, it was going to be replacing the Crotons or the Space Pirates, I can't remember. And of course Fraser Hines liked the idea of that story, but because it's a kids show they couldn't really use that idea.
Yeah, I heard about that. He wasn't very happy because he wanted to see women dressed around in those kind of sexy outfits. He's always hated the croutons, as he calls it, for that.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting question from Death to a Dalek. Do you think Big Finish should get actor impersonators for the first two Doctors instead of using companions for the Companion Chronicles?
No.
I would say Fraser Hines does a really good job for the Second Doctor. For the first
He does. He does a fantastic impression of the Doctor, Second Doctor.
The first Doctor, I would say, because didn't Planet of Giants get a voiceover for the first Doctor?
Yeah, I forgot his name.
I think it was the same bloke who voiced the first Doctor in the Day of the Doctor, actually. Who voiced
Yeah. Why not get him to do that? Because I think it would boost the popularity of the first Doctor adventures, not dissing William Russell and
Yeah, they do a good job, but I did wish they got another person to play the first Doctor in the early adventures. That's what I suffered a bit with the early adventures range. They're still good, yeah, but I wish they got another person to do it.
Yeah, because this is kind of like a sketchy point. I mean, because I go on the Big Finish forums, and this is quite a prominent point on the forums. And it kind of divides the Big Finish fandom in a way. Because one half is absolutely opposed against it because they don't like the fact that anyone else is playing the Doctor, but they accept the Companion Chronicles format because it is retelling from a companion point of view. However, there is another camp that say they should impersonate them because of what you said, Tom. It makes it a bit more dynamic in the story. Brings them a bit more popularity, and they can make full cast audios out of it. So it's a very controversial point in the Big Finish fandom. So I'm not really sure what to make of it personally. This is only me. I think you should only recast the Doctor in special circumstances, like an Anniversary. They did it with Richard Herndon in the Five Doctors. They did it with the first three Doctors in The Light at the End. But I don't really think you should get a range to do that. I mean, I think the third Doctor box set is a good compromise because Tim Treelaw is playing the narrator who also says the lines of the third Doctor. He's not being credited as the third Doctor. So I think that's a good compromise from Big Finish because they know it's a controversial issue.
Whereas with William Russell in the early adventures, I haven't listened to him, but I assume he's doing the narration as well as Ian's lines, as well as the first Doctors. So it must get a bit confusing at times, I'd say.
With the third Doctor, I understand why, because if you look past the Companion Chronicles, there's nothing for him. There's only one lost story, so I can see why they want to try and sort of get the third Doctor back into Big Finish, as it were, because there's nothing really for him.
Yeah, he's been left out a lot, I think.
Yeah, that's what I didn't like, but it's nice for him to have his own individual release to the third Doctor.
We've got more questions.
Thank you very much.
Herdix.
I think we've been going over 2 hours now.
We have.
Probably.
Yeah.
Herdix asked, How would you revive Doctor Who back in 2005 if you were showrunner?
I didn't know it existed until then, so I couldn't really bring it back myself.
Uh,
I kind of know what you mean. I'm not really sure, actually. Someone else answered it.
I would have Paul McGann as a Doctor instead of what's it called Christopher Eccleston. I kind of like continue it on from there, I guess.
I'd agree.
Yeah, Luke took my words.
Give it back.
I don't know why they didn't, to be honest.
I think
They
it's
still could have done the same fresh start thing.
But then again, that's sort of saying basically you wouldn't have the 8th Doctor Adventures in Big Finish. Or Dark
Yeah.
Arts.
No, they probably wouldn't have happened.
Well, if you think about it, though, Big Finish began the 8th Doctor range before the new series, so I think we would have had it up to 2005. I think we would have had it up to the next live.
Oh yeah, they did start the 8th Doctor Adventure, well, the monthly range 8th Doctor Adventure, like in 2001 or somewhere around there.
2000,
Yeah.
yeah.
Somewhere
then-
around that line.
The 8th Doctor Adventure started in 2006.
No, I mean, but in the monthly range.
Yeah.
But then obviously his own independent range was 2006, yeah.
Yeah.
But that would probably be a good idea because McGann isn't a brilliant actor. He only appears in a few things on TV. I think he would have been a good Doctor for that first series. I'm not really sure personally. I don't know how to run a show personally.
Never tried it.
No, I haven't tried it personally. I'm not Wesley McCammon.
I wouldn't have had the Time War, I don't think.
Probably. Although the Time War was introduced because the Time Lords were just. I think Russell T Davies saw the Time Lords as a problem because it kind of brings down what the Doctor is, just to go back to his home planet and just see these kind of tottering old men, and these are his superiors. So you want the Doctor to be like a bit more powerful figure, I think he thought,
Yeah.
by having him being the last of his kind.
I think the general concept of the Time War doesn't really work when you think about it too much.
Is it? Well, I've grown up with the Time War being the show, so it's kind of a bit ingrained in my brain as the new series. But maybe I wouldn't have done the Time War if I ran the show. I wouldn't know. So I'm not a professional head writer.
Do you want me to move on? Or anyone else? So, because I don't know when to move on to the next question.
Anyone else want to approach this question?
Yeah.
Alright. Well, this is going to be a question which everyone's going to say yes to. Doctor Who guy, do you think I should get dark eyes?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's a no-brainer. Doctor Who guy, absolutely, you are missing out on such a fantastic adventure. Absolutely.
We could get 100 people to recommend you Dark Eyes. Probably.
If anyone hasn't got dark eyes who's watching the stream, get it.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got another sort of question, sort of not. It's more of a statement, but I guess we can sort of agree or disagree.
Go on.
Wedding of River Song is the worst Doctor Who story.
I think I can be quite controversial and say it's not.
Love and
I'd
Monsters.
say it's very far down on my list.
It's very far down, but I don't consider it the worst. I could think of worse ones. Does he mean? Did he say Did he say just in New Who or the whole era of Doctor Who?
I guess the whole thing. The whole
Then no.
Doctor Who. I'd say the worst is Warriors of the Deep.
Yes.
No,
Thank you for
actually,
that, Taylor.
no, actually, I completely
Horrible,
changed that.
disgusting story.
Web Planet.
Yes,
No.
I agree with that as well.
I like Web Planet.
Oh,
Web
shut
Planet.
up, Kai, you. Oh, God.
I haven't
Web
seen
Planet.
it, so I don't know.
What were you telling?
Kai's been frightened.
Mr. Kill the Moon fans getting threatened.
Let's not get back into that. You'll just piss me off.
Oh.
Kai's getting serious. He doesn't muck around when he's talking about Kill the Moon.
No, it's just I don't like people who. Oh, sorry, I can't be asked to get into this. I don't want to do that.
Let's leave Kill the Moon out of it. Any others?
I don't know, I haven't refreshed it, so I'll have a quick look.
I know Who Addicts have put the comment. Chips coming soon.
Well, chips is a big thing on this hangout. Since Bonnie commented it.
Modern day adaptation of Claudius. Chips.
Have we got any questions?
Any
Oh,
more
there's some
questions?
from Death to the Dalek.
Oh yeah, go through those.
Personally, I would choose New Who due to the fact during the wilderness years people were dreaming that the series would come back. Makes quite a good point, he does.
Hmm. But in fairness, the wilderness years were the most creative years of Doctor Who. Without the wilderness
Right,
years, we wouldn't have all the fan writers we do.
Yeah.
Mark
Mm.
Gatiss, Nick
It's a
Ray,
very tough
Paul
question.
Cornell,
You raise
Russell
a
T.
good
Davies.
point, Death to the Dalek.
Russell T. Davies, he
yeah.
wrote for the Virgin New Adventures and Strange. Stephen
Oh,
Moffat wrote for Virgin.
I think I got another one from him now. I got a load from him.
Gosh, she's doing well. Fast
Thanks,
typer.
Death to the Dalek.
Yeah, round of applause, Steve. Yeah.
Thank you. And he's one of the people who has requested a Big Finish thing from me for about 5 months ago, so thanks for being a trooper. Anyway, Ian Levine recently, this is what he's saying, Ian Levine recently said an interesting point. Do you think Big Finish should get actor impersonators for the first 2 Doctors instead
That's
of
the
the
question I asked.
companions, or the Companion Chronicles?
That's the
No,
question I asked.
don't use companions.
Yeah, I think we've answered that. Really.
Yeah, we've already answered that.
That's the
Yeah.
question I read earlier.
I think that's all the questions.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Just one more
Yeah.
question to check.
Just do a quick refresh, just in case, so we don't miss anybody.
But if we keep saying that more and more,
No, don't say that because they're gonna start.
okay, let's just say
Yeah.
no more comments.
I think
You
we're
have
going
to
to
wait a
wrap
couple
this
of
up now,
months.
lads. We've been going
Yeah.
for 2.25 hours.
Oh wow.
Gosh, that's
You don't.
2
You
hours
don't.
and 15 minutes.
You don't
and
have to wait
31
long to
seconds.
comment again.
Or
Only a
something like
couple of
that.
months.
It's funny considering our actual topics were only an hour long.
Yeah.
We've been answering questions for an hour and a quarter.
Yeah, our scheduling was planned for about an hour long, but we've gone an hour over for 2 hours.
I guess we should probably stop with the questions then.
So what have we got planned in the future, Ben?
what have we got planned for the future? Well, hopefully you guys have enjoyed it by the response. Obviously, people have enjoyed it. We will be doing mini reviews of Big Finish stories, and we'll be looking at news, latest Big Finish releases, and all that jazzy stuff. So that's for the future of Big Finish fans. So should we go over like videos, what we've got planned for the future, and then wrap it up, and then say farewell to everyone? Yeah.
Can I go first? I guess.
Okay. Currently, I'm releasing a series of reviews around a Doctor Who spin-off audio range called Keldor City. It's not Big Finish, it's Magic Bullet Productions. It's a marvellous series, and I recommend you get it. Also, I've recently released reviews about the Confessions of Dorian Gray from Big Finish, and about other Big Finish audios. It basically is what I've done. My next series of reviews are going to be for the Big Finish Doctor Who audio range, Doctor Who Unbound. So watch out for that. And at the end of February, I'm going to be releasing a second collection video. Oh yeah, I've released my first collection video at the beginning of the year, and this second one is going to be late February. And obviously, I'd have to advertise the Who Viewed My Council on Skyrim Mondas Productions. We do those chats regularly, and I'd say watch out for that because it's just as marvellous as this was. So thank you.
There we are.
Service the Fibster here.
Brilliant name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who wants to go now?
I guess I go next then. Well, videos planned for me, just snazzy stuff really, Big Finish stuff. Coming up tomorrow for Sunday, I've got an overview of the early adventures season 1. Also, Domain of the Void, The Doctor's Tale, Bounty of Sirius, and Aldrin Live. I'll just be doing an overview of all those full stories in the season, rating them in order, and rating the entire season. Reviews coming up. I got the Philip Hinchcliffe box set review coming up. All those people who've requested reviews will be happening on January because my scheduling will be much better this year. And anything else? Yeah, about time. Yeah, that person who spoke there right then has been waiting 5 months for a review because that's how bad I am.
Moonflesh.
And someone else. Death to the Dark is in the comments, so I definitely do apologise. And yeah, just Big Finish stuff. Oh yeah, and got a DVD collection thing coming up as well. And that's off. That's me, TJ Productions, and I'm off. Goodbye.
Right, who else wants to say their goodbyes and stuff?
Oh. Well, I guess I've got Big Finish reviews of Higher Science and Rani Ali and Mistfall when that comes out. They should be coming in January, and also some Classic Who reviews, such as the E-Space trilogy.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I'm also doing the the recent Big Finishes. I think everyone's mostly doing that here anyway.
Yeah.
So
Should I go next?
Taylor,
promote
Ben?
your channel.
Oh no, leave best to last. Leave Ben last.
The best or last.
Yeah, leave me till last if you want.
Alright then, I'll go next. I just uploaded a sort of 2014 video which featured like a lot of YouTubers in it just thanking some people. So if you want to watch that, that'd be awesome. It's already got like 11 likes or something. And future videos, I've got the Ice Warriors review. I've got a review of that story, the Second Doctor story. I've also got requested by Tom, King of Sontar.
Yeah.
And I'll probably do the Crooked Man as well then after that. And then I've got tons of Big Finish reviews which were already recorded months ago. Like I Doubt Ross, I recorded that about 2 months ago.
Really?
Yeah, I recorded that ages ago. Like as soon as I got it, I listened, reviewed, and got Jubilee review recorded. So yeah, I've still got tons of Big Finish to listen to. So yeah, got plenty of stuff to come for the channel. And I'm obviously probably going to buy tons of Big Finish now. I found that Amazon seller,
Can't resist it.
including Dorian
Oh.
Gray Series 1 and 2 for 17 quid. So yeah. Anyway, that's me done.
Yeah, just the same really. Big Finish reviews, DVD reviews, and I've got a couple of figure reviews planned because people seem to like them, and a Big Finish collection update. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I just want to say a huge thank you to people watching and people who have joined me for this wonderful hangout, and we'll see you possibly in 3 months' time for the second Big Finish fans, hopefully with a mini review of something. So for now, take care, stay awesome, because you're all brilliant people. So yeah, everyone say their goodbyes. So yeah, goodbye.
Goodbye, brilliant people.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.